Beloved, the affirmations you are about to receive are keys to the treasures of your own subconscious mind. They are spoken in the language of spirit, a language so powerful that it reaches beyond the conscious mind and flows directly to the deep, creative wells of your being. Just as the wise hypnotist guides the mind to receptivity, so too do these words open the doors of your inner consciousness. Know this? The moment you sink from waking thought into the quiet of sleep, your mind's doors swing wide, and your inner world is fully exposed to divine influence. Meditation may also lead you to this sacred space, but this practice, this gentle listening, is a pathway of ease and grace. When combined, meditation and affirmations accelerate your alignment with the life that is rightly yours. Listen faithfully, dear soul, each night for 21 days, the sacred cycle in which your mind forms new pathways. As your subconscious thoughts surrender the old limitations, they are replaced by radiant, positive thoughts that draw to you every blessing that once seemed beyond reach. Such is the miraculous power of affirmations. And now, with the harmonious vibration of the 432, have frequency as your companion. Your connection to the infinite is strengthened. The universe conspires on your behalf. Everything you desire is drawn to you. Simply lie back, relax, and let these words do their work. I am a magnet for abundance in every form. Happiness flows to me effortlessly, here and now. Prosperity streams to me from countless channels. My body is a temple of health, vitality, and joy. I graciously accept the blessings that life sends me. My thoughts are seeds of good, and they bring a rich harvest. My mind is attuned to the energy of infinite abundance. With each passing day, my health grows stronger and more vibrant. I attract people and situations that uplift my spirit. Love and positivity flow endlessly through me. Gratitude is the natural song of my heart. Every challenge carries the seed of opportunity and growth. I am surrounded by love, peace, and radiant joy. I trust the wisdom of the universe to guide me to prosperity. My actions always bring me toward perfect health and abundance. The universe conspires to bring me happiness beyond measure. I am a powerful creator of my destiny. Prosperity comes to me with ease and grace. My mind and body are in perfect harmony. I am worthy of love, health, and every blessing. I am connected to the limitless supply of the universe. I choose thoughts that nourish and uplift me. My well-being is my divine priority. I radiate positivity and receive it abundantly in return. Happiness flows to me from all directions. I embrace every opportunity for personal growth. Abundance in all its forms is my natural state. My body responds with vitality to the positive words I hold within. Rest now, beloved, and let the divine affirm its perfect plan through these words. The life you seek is already yours. You only need to receive it. Beloved, every day is a new gift, a fresh opportunity to experience joy, love, and the boundless blessings of life. I am open and receptive to the riches that the divine lovingly bestows upon me. Perfect health is my natural state. Abundance grows in my life effortlessly, multiplying with every passing moment. I choose the calm of inner peace over the turbulence of outer conflict. I am the architect of my own happiness. My life overflows with moments of joy and satisfaction. Prosperity accompanies me in every step I take. My dreams and aspirations effortlessly manifest into reality. I accept perfect health as my divine inheritance. Life loves me, and I return that love with a grateful heart. My gratitude draws limitless abundance to me. I am an expression of love, peace, and creative energy in every thought, word, and deed. Each day I grow richer in happiness, richer in love. Happiness is my conscious choice, and I claim it now. My thoughts shape a prosperous and harmonious reality. I am grateful for the treasure of my health, which is my greatest wealth. Abundance is magnified in my life as I focus on thoughts of prosperity. Happiness surrounds me within and without. I am at peace with my prosperity, and prosperity is at peace with me. I awaken each day rejuvenated, vibrant, and filled with life's energy. Abundance is my divine right, and I claim it now. My every action is aligned with my well-being. I am a magnet for happiness, health, and prosperity. Life offers me abundance in every step I take. Every breath fills me with vitality and radiant health. I am grateful for the journey that leads me to my highest good. I release all fears and doubts, and in their place, I welcome courage and confidence. My energy draws wealth, joy, and abundance in all forms. I am worthy of a full, satisfying, and radiant life. Prosperity is my constant companion. I feel whole, satisfied, and rich in every aspect of my life. Health, happiness, and well-being are my daily reality. Each day I grow more attuned to the energy of infinite abundance. I attract experiences that uplift my spirit. My trust in the divine and my abundance grow stronger with every moment. I am a powerful creator, and my life manifests all good. Life blesses me with vibrant health. My mind is programmed for success, joy, and happiness. I welcome prosperity and all the good that flows to me. I am surrounded by positive energy and love. My body radiates vitality and energy. Abundance flows freely through me. Every day is a treasure, full of opportunities to rejoice. I am deserving of all forms of abundance. My heart is open to love, joy, and prosperity. Wealth comes to me with ease and grace. My health is my most precious gift. I choose thoughts that nurture my well-being and happiness. I move in harmony with the universe and its infinite abundance. Every experience carries lesson in joy and growth. My life is a continuous expression of prosperity. Health is my natural state. I attract enriching, positive experiences. I accept abundance with gratitude. Happiness is my birthright. My decisions guide me toward prosperity. Health flows through me like a river of vitality. Abundance is my essence. I draw only the best into my life. My inner joy radiates outward, touching all I encounter. My life reflects the positivity of my thoughts. I am open to receiving health, love, and happiness. Prosperity follows me wherever I go. I improve each day, in every way. I am grateful for every moment of life. I am the master of my destiny, choosing abundance with clarity and joy. My path is illuminated by light, love, and divine guidance. My heart is open to unconditional love that surrounds me. Freedom is my chosen path to complete happiness. Every day, love multiplies in my life. Gratitude sets me free. Happiness is my essence, and I radiate it to all. I move through life with love, freedom, and possibility. My life mirrors pure love. I embrace the freedom to express my true self. Love flows to me and through me effortlessly. My inner joy is unwavering and eternal. I attract loving, healthy relationships. The freedom to choose is my divine right, exercised with love and wisdom. Self-love guides me in every decision. I find reasons to rejoice in every moment. The universe supports my quest for personal freedom. Love surrounds me in every form. My heart is free, ready to love fully. Happiness finds me in unexpected, delightful ways. I live with passion and love for life. Freedom is the fertile ground where happiness blossoms. I welcome love with open arms. Every breath fills me with peace, freedom, and joy. Happiness is my natural state. I am worthy of profound and meaningful love. My freedom empowers me to create the life of my dreams. Love guides all my steps. In love and freedom, I find perfect harmony. Happiness and I are one. I attract true love because I radiate true love. I live a life unbound, rich with possibilities. The love I give returns to me multiplied. Each day I feel freer to be my authentic self. My joy is contagious, attracting more love and light. I choose to see the world through eyes of love. Freedom teaches me to open my heart fully. I release fears that block my joy. My life is a radiant expression of limitless love. True freedom arises from a heart of deep love. I am loved. I am free. I am happy. Beloved, love and happiness are your guide and your destiny. Every step you take carries you toward greater freedom, joy, and love. Happiness flows through you like a calm, radiant river. Your heart is full of love and gratitude, welcoming the freedom to grow and expand in love. Life smiles upon you, showering you with endless joy and blessings. Your inner being radiates love, and happiness is drawn to you effortlessly. You are free to create moments of joy, love, and laughter. Happiness is your choice. Love is your path. Freedom is your light. You embrace love in all its forms, freeing yourself from all that limits you. Your journey is filled with love, freedom, and endless delight. Every day you are more open to abundance in all its forms. You choose to feel happiness here and now. Prosperity flows to you from countless sources. Your body is a temple of health, vitality, and radiant energy. You accept and receive the abundance that life so graciously offers. Your thoughts are seeds of goodness, creating a life of joy and prosperity. Your mind is aligned with the infinite energy of abundance. Every day, your health improves in every way. You attract people and experiences that uplift your spirit. You are an inexhaustible source of love, joy, and positivity. Gratitude is your natural state of being. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to grow, prosper, and shine. You are surrounded by love, peace, and joy. You trust in your ability to create a prosperous and fulfilling life. Your actions lead you to perfect health and well-being. The universe conspires to bring you more happiness, prosperity, and blessings. You feel powerful, confident, and in full control of your destiny. Prosperity comes to you naturally, easily, and gracefully. Your mind and body are in perfect harmony. You are worthy of receiving love, health, and all the good that life has to offer. You are connected to the infinite supply of abundance that flows from the universe. You choose thoughts that nourish, uplift, and inspire you. Your well-being is your highest priority. You radiate positive energy, and the same flows back to you in abundance. Happiness and prosperity surround you in every direction. You are committed to your personal growth, health, and joy. Your body responds to your positives with vitality, energy, and radiant health. Every day is a new opportunity to experience joy, love, and abundance. You are open and receptive to all the riches life offers. Perfect health is your natural state. Abundance in your life grows exponentially. You choose inner peace over outer conflict. You are the architect of your own happiness. Your life is filled with moments of joy, satisfaction, and delight. Prosperity accompanies you in every step you take. Your dreams and aspirations manifest effortlessly into reality. You accept perfect health as your natural state of being. Life loves you, and you love life in return. Gratitude attracts limitless abundance. You are an expression of love, peace, and creativity in every thought, word, and action. Each day, you grow richer in love, happiness, and prosperity. Happiness is your choice, and you claim it now. Your thoughts shape a prosperous reality. You are grateful for your health, your greatest wealth. Abundance magnifies in your life as you focus on it. Happiness surrounds you within and without. You are at peace with your prosperity, and prosperity is at peace with you. You awaken each day rejuvenated, vibrant, and full of energy. Abundance is your divine right, and you claim it now. Your actions are aligned with your highest good. You are a magnet for happiness, health, and prosperity. Life offers abundance at every turn. Every breath fills you with vitality and well-being. You are grateful for your journey toward prosperity. You release all fears and doubts, welcoming courage, confidence, and joy. Your energy attracts wealth, joy, and blessings in all forms. You are worthy of a full, satisfying, and radiant life. Prosperity is your constant companion. You feel whole, satisfied, and rich in every way. Health, happiness, and well-being are your reality. Every day, you grow more attuned to the energy of infinite abundance. You attract opportunities to rejoice and prosper. Your trust in the universe and its abundance grows stronger each day. You are a powerful creator, manifesting all good in your life. Life blesses you with vibrant health. Your mind is programmed for success, joy, and happiness. You accept prosperity and all the good that life offers. Positive energy and love surround you always. Your body radiates energy and vitality. Abundance flows freely through you. Every day is a gift, full of opportunities to rejoice and flourish. You deserve abundance in all its forms. Your heart is open to love, joy, and prosperity. Wealth comes to you with ease. Your health is your most precious treasure. You choose thoughts that support your well-being and happiness. You are in perfect harmony with the universe and its infinite abundance. Every experience is an opportunity to grow in joy. Your life is filled with prosperity. Health is your constant state. You attract positive, enriching experiences. You accept abundance with gratitude. Happiness is your natural state. Your decisions lead you to prosperity. Health flows through you like a river of vitality. Abundance is your state of being. You attract only the best into your life. Your inner joy reflects outward. Your life mirrors your positive thoughts. You are open to receiving health, love, and happiness. Prosperity follows you wherever you go. Each day in every way you improve. You are thankful for every moment. You are the master of your destiny, choosing abundance with joy. Your path is illuminated by light, love, and divine guidance. Your heart is open to unconditional love. You choose freedom as your path to happiness. Love multiplies in your life every day. Gratitude sets you free. Happiness is your essence, radiating to all. You move through life with love, freedom, and infinite possibilities. Your life is a reflection of pure love. You accept the freedom to express your true self. Love flows effortlessly to and from you. Your inner happiness is unshakable and eternal. You attract loving, healthy relationships. The freedom to choose is your divine right, exercised with love and wisdom. Self-love guides you in every decision. You find reasons to rejoice each day. The universe supports your journey toward freedom and happiness. You are surrounded by love in all its forms. Your heart is free, ready to love fully. Happiness finds you in the most unexpected ways. You live each day with passion and joy. Freedom is the fertile ground where happiness blossoms. You welcome love with open arms. Every breath fills you with peace, freedom, and joy. Happiness is your natural state. You are worthy of profound and meaningful love. Your freedom empowers you to create the life of your dreams. Love guides all your steps. In love and freedom, you find perfect harmony. Happiness and you are one. You attract true love because you radiate true love. You live a life unbound, rich with possibilities. The love you give returns to you multiplied. Each day you feel freer to be your authentic self. Your joy is contagious, attracting more love and light. You choose to see the world through eyes of love. Freedom teaches you to live with an open heart. You release fears that block your joy. Your life is a radiant expression of limitless love. True freedom comes from a heart full of love. You are loved. You are free. You are happy. Beloved, every day is a new opportunity to experience joy, love, and the blessings of life. I am open and receptive to all the riches that the universe provides. Perfect health is my natural state. Abundance flows freely in my life, growing effortlessly and exponentially. I choose inner peace over outer conflict. I am the architect of my happiness, and my life is filled with moments of joy, satisfaction, and prosperity. My dreams and aspirations manifest into reality with ease. Life loves me, and I love life. Gratitude is my constant companion, drawing limitless blessings. I am an expression of love, peace, and creativity in every thought, word, and action. Each day, I grow richer in happiness, love, and prosperity. Happiness is my conscious choice and I claim it now. My thoughts create my prosperous reality. I am grateful for my health, my greatest wealth. Abundance magnifies in my life as I focus on it. Happiness surrounds me within and without. I am at peace with my prosperity, and prosperity is at peace with me. I awaken each day rejuvenated, vibrant, and full of life's energy. Abundance is my divine right, and I claim it now. My actions are aligned with my well-being. I am a magnet for happiness, health, and prosperity. Life offers abundance at every step. Every breath fills me with vitality, energy, and well-being. I release all fears and doubts, welcoming courage, confidence, and joy. My energy attracts wealth, love, and blessings in all forms. I am worthy of a full, satisfying, and radiant life. Prosperity is my constant companion. My health and well-being are my reality. Every day, I grow more attuned to the energy of infinite abundance. I attract experiences and people that uplift my spirit. My trust in the universe grows stronger every day. I am a powerful creator, manifesting all good in my life. Life blesses me with vibrant health. My mind is programmed for success, joy, and happiness. I accept prosperity and all the good that life offers. Positive energy surrounds me always. My body is full of vitality. Abundance flows freely through me. Every day is a gift, full of opportunities to rejoice and flourish. I deserve abundance in all its forms. My heart is open to love and joy. Wealth comes to me with ease. My health is my most precious treasure. I choose thoughts that nurture my well-being and happiness. I am in perfect harmony with the universe and its infinite abundance. Every experience is an opportunity to grow in joy. My life is full of prosperity. Health is my constant state. I attract positive and enriching experiences. I accept abundance in my life with gratitude. Happiness is my natural state. My decisions lead me to prosperity. Health flows through me like a river of vitality. Abundance is my state of being. I attract only the best into my life. My inner joy reflects outward. My life mirrors my positive thoughts. I am open to receiving health, love, and happiness. Prosperity follows me wherever I go. Each day, in every way I improve. I am thankful for every moment. I am the master of my destiny, choosing abundance with joy. My path is illuminated by light, love, and divine guidance. My heart is open to unconditional love. I choose freedom as my path to full happiness. Love multiplies in my life every day. Gratitude sets me free. Happiness is my essence, radiating to all. I move through life with love, freedom, and infinite possibilities. My life is a reflection of pure love. I accept the freedom to express my true self. Love flows effortlessly to and from me. My inner happiness is unshakable and eternal. I attract loving, healthy relationships. The freedom to choose is my divine right, exercised with love and wisdom. Self-love guides me in every decision. I find reasons to rejoice each day. The universe supports my journey toward freedom and happiness. I am surrounded by love in all its forms. My heart is free, ready to love fully. Happiness finds me in unexpected, delightful ways. I live each day with passion and love. Freedom is the fertile ground where happiness blossoms. I welcome love with open arms. Every breath fills me with peace, freedom, and joy. Happiness is my natural state. I am worthy of deep and meaningful love. My freedom empowers me to create the life of my dreams. Love guides all my steps. In love and freedom, I find perfect harmony. Happiness and I are one. I attract true love because I emanate true love. I live a life unbound, rich with possibilities. The love I give returns to me multiplied. Each day I feel freer to be my authentic self. My joy is contagious, attracting more love and light. I choose to see the world through eyes of love. Freedom teaches me to live with an open heart. I release fears that block my joy. My life is a radiant expression of limitless love. True freedom comes from a heart full of love. I am loved. I am free. I am happy. I am open to receiving health, love, and happiness. Prosperity follows me wherever I go. Every day, in every way, I am improving. I am grateful for every moment of my life. I am the master of my destiny, and I choose abundance. My path is illuminated with light, love, and divine guidance toward prosperity. My heart is open to the unconditional love that surrounds me. I choose freedom as my path to complete happiness. Each day, love multiplies in my life. I live in a state of gratitude, and gratitude sets me free. Happiness is my essence, and I radiate it to all. I move freely in a world full of love and possibilities. My life is a reflection of pure love. I accept the freedom to be completely myself. Love flows effortlessly to me and through me. My inner happiness is unshakable and eternal. I am a magnet for loving, healthy relationships. The freedom of choice is my divine right, and I exercise it with love. Self-love guides me in every decision. I find reasons to be joyful and happy every day. The universe supports me in my quest for personal freedom. I am surrounded by love in all its forms. My heart is free from all ties, ready to love fully. Happiness finds me in the most unexpected and delightful ways. I live each day with passion and love for life. Freedom is the fertile ground where my happiness blossoms. I welcome love in my life with open arms. Every breath fills me with peace, freedom, and joy. I choose happiness as my natural state. I am worthy of deep and meaningful love. My freedom allows me to create the life I desire. Love guides me in everything I do. I find freedom in love and love in freedom. Happiness and I are one. I attract true love because I emanate true love. I live my life free of limitations and full of possibilities. The love I give returns to me multiplied. Each day I feel freer to be my authentic self. My joy is contagious and attracts more love into my life. I choose to see the world through the eyes of love. Freedom teaches me to live with an open heart. I release all fears that block my happiness. My life is a radiant expression of unlimited love. True freedom comes from a heart full of deep love. I am loved. I am free. I am happy. Love and happiness are my guide and my destiny. Every step I take leads me to greater freedom and love. Happiness flows in me like a calm river. My heart is full of love and gratitude. I welcome the freedom to grow, change, and expand in love. Life smiles upon me with endless love and happiness. My inner being radiates love, attracting joy and abundance. I am free to create moments of joy and love. Happiness is my choice. Love is my path. Freedom is my light. I embrace love in all its forms, releasing all else. My journey is filled with love, freedom, and endless laughter. Every day, I am more open to abundance in all its forms. I choose to feel happiness here and now. Prosperity flows to me from multiple sources. My body is a temple of health and vitality. I accept and receive abundance in all areas of my life. My positive thoughts create a positive life. My mind is aligned with the energy of abundance. Every day, my health improves in every aspect. I attract situations and people that contribute to my happiness. I am an inexhaustible source of love and positivity. Gratitude is my natural state. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to grow and prosper. I am surrounded by love, peace, and joy. I trust in my ability to create a prosperous life. My actions lead me to full health and well-being. The universe conspires to bring me more happiness and abundance. I feel powerful and in control of my destiny. Prosperity comes to me easily and naturally. My mind and body are in perfect harmony. I am worthy of receiving love, health, and prosperity. I am connected to the infinite supply of abundance from the universe. I choose thoughts that nourish and uplift me. My well-being is my highest priority. I radiate positive energy, and the same flows back to me. Happiness flows to me from all directions. I am committed to my personal growth and well-being. I embrace abundance in all its forms. My body responds with health and vitality to my positive thoughts. Every day is a new opportunity to experience joy and love. I am open and receptive to all the riches of life. Perfect health is my natural state. Abundance in my life grows exponentially. I choose inner peace over outer conflict. I am the architect of my happiness. My life is full of moments of joy and satisfaction. Prosperity accompanies me in every step I take. My dreams and aspirations manifest into reality. I accept health as my natural state of being. Life loves me, and I love life. My gratitude attracts limitless abundance. I am an expression of love, peace, and creativity. Every day, in every way, I am becoming richer and happier. Happiness is my choice, and I choose it now. My thoughts create my prosperous reality. I am grateful for my health, my greatest wealth. I focus on abundance, and it magnifies in my life. Happiness surrounds me inside and out. I am at peace with my prosperity, and my prosperity is at peace with me. I feel rejuvenated, vibrant, and alive each day. Abundance is my divine right, and I claim it now. My actions are aligned with my well-being. I am a magnet for happiness, health, and prosperity. Life offers me abundance in every step I take. Every breath fills me with energy, health, and vitality. I am grateful for my journey toward prosperity. I release all fears and doubts. My energy attracts wealth, happiness, and blessings in all forms. I am worthy of a full and satisfying life.
There is a law, perfect and exact, that moves with the majesty of divine order. It is not a law made by men, nor bound by the limitations of the visible world. It is the law of supply, of abundance, of the unbroken flow of good that rushes like a mighty river toward the one who dares to claim it with unwavering authority. You are not a beggar at the gates of destiny. You are the heir to infinite riches. The word spoken with faith is the scepter in your hand, and the invisible forces of prosperity wait upon your command. When the soul stands tall in its own divine dominion, lack dissolves like mist before the rising sun. Poverty is but an illusion, a shadow cast by doubt and fear. The true substance is already yours. It exists in the unseen, waiting to take form at your decree. Speak as one who knows, not as one who pleads. Say to the great ocean of supply, "Come forth," and it must obey, for the word of power carries the seal of divine authority. Many wander in circles because they whisper requests instead of issuing commands. But the universe does not respond to hesitation. It answers to certainty. When the heart is steady and the vision clear, the riches of the invisible are magnetized to your spoken word. The gold, the opportunities, the allies, the unexpected avenues, all rise up and hasten to meet you. For the law knows no resistance. It only knows fulfillment. You are not separate from abundance. You are the channel through which it flows. As you think, so does the stream widen or narrow. As you speak, so does the invisible take shape. If you speak fear, you call forth obstacles. If you speak faith, you summon millions. There is no neutral ground in the language of creation. Every word is a seed. Every declaration plants itself in the fertile soil of the unseen, and harvest must come in its appointed season. Therefore, speak boldly. Say, "By my command the millions answer." Say it not with trembling, but with the serene assurance of one who knows their inheritance. The riches of the universe are not stored in vaults of stone, but in the limitless field of divine substance. Money is but the shadow. The power is in the word. Every vibration you release sets unseen wheels in motion. The divine supply has no end, no ceiling, no measure. It is infinite as the stars, faithful as the dawn. You have only to align your word with its power and call it into form. Where others see empty spaces, you see divine appointments. Where others see delay, you see the swift unfolding of perfect timing. The invisible hears your voice. The substance responds to your decree. Stand in your power and let your words roll forth like thunder. Say it and the universe moves. Command it and the millions come. To speak with unwavering authority is to stand in the center of your own dominion, knowing that the power which creates worlds listens and moves at the sound of your word. It is to release every whisper of doubt and wear the robe of certainty as a mantle, not as a performance but as a mantle. Not as a performance but as a mantle, not as a performance but as a mantle, not as a performance but as a mantle. Not as a performance but as a meditative being. True authority does not shout, nor does it strive to convince. It flows with quiet, unshakable power that comes from an inner knowing that what is spoken is already accomplished in the invisible. It is not a matter of forcing reality, but aligning with the law that responds unfailingly to the voice of conviction. When you speak from that center, mountains bow, pathways clear, and provision rushes to meet your decree as if it had been waiting for your command all along. Authority is not found in the outer world. It is born from the still, radiant core of the self. To speak with power, one must first know they possess it. When the heart is divided, when the voice carries uncertainty, the law mirrors back the same divided vibration. But when the word is firm, charged with the electric current of faith, it sets invisible forces into harmonious motion. The seen world is only the reflection of the unseen, and the unseen moves in response to the authority you embody. This authority cannot be borrowed, mimicked, or faked. It is not a costume you put on, it is a vibration you become. Many speak their desires but lace them with invisible threads of fear, as if the power they invoke might fail or falter. This weakens the command and scatters its energy. A king does not plead with his kingdom, he declares, and his word is law. A queen does not beg the wind to carry her message, she speaks and the wind obeys. In the same way, your spoken word must carry the weight of certainty, the strength of one who knows they are not asking, but commanding. The invisible realm responds to this tone as faithfully as the tide responds to the moon. To speak with unwavering authority, one must shed the habit of hesitation. Hesitation is the language of disbelief, and disbelief builds invisible walls that block the flow of supply. Each word must be planted in the soil of faith, rooted deep like a tree that does not fear the storm. There can be no trembling in your declaration, no hidden apology, no attempt to convince or explain. Authority does not explain itself. It simply speaks. When you say, "This is mine," the vibration of your voice must carry the calm certainty of possession. When you say, "It comes now," your tone must not be tinged with waiting, but with the assuredness of immediate manifestation. This kind of authority is cultivated in the silence before the word is spoken. It is the inner preparation, the aligning of thought and feeling, that gives the spoken word its irresistible power. You cannot command from a heart filled with contradiction. You cannot declare abundance while secretly believing in lack. The vibration of the heart always reveals itself, and the unseen realm mirrors that vibration precisely. So to speak with power, the heart must be emptied of every whisper of doubt. Faith must not only be believed in, but worn like a crown. Think of the way the earth responds to the seasons. It does not argue with the spring, it blooms. It does not resist the summer, it ripens. It does not question the autumn, it releases. It does not fear the winter, it rests. The invisible responds to your word in this same natural, unresisting way when that word is spoken with unwavering authority. There is no force or struggle in it. It is not about how loudly or dramatically the words are said. It is about the certainty that rides on the vibration beneath them. Unwavering authority is not arrogance. It is not shouting at the world or trying to overpower others. It is the serene knowledge that the law is on your side, that the universe is already aligned with your highest good. It is not a battle for control, but a calm claim of what is already yours by divine right. When you speak from this place, your voice carries an invisible weight, a magnetism that pulls form out of formlessness. People respond differently, doors open in unexpected places, opportunities begin to appear with effortless precision, and circumstances rearrange themselves in obedience to your declaration. When the mind wavers, the word wavers. When the word wavers, the result wavers. So the cultivation of authority begins long before the declaration is spoken. It begins in the disciplined training of thought, the steady guarding of inner conversation. If in silence your mind contradicts your spoken word, you scatter your power. But if in silence your mind agrees with your spoken word, the vibration is unified and the command becomes irresistible. This is why those who speak once with faith often receive more than those who speak 100 times with doubt. It is not repetition that moves the universe, it is certainty. The unseen realm does not analyze your vocabulary or judge the beauty of your phrasing. It responds only to the energy beneath your word. A simple, unwavering "I have it now" carries more creative power than a long, eloquent speech filled with uncertainty. Authority is stripped of ornamentation. It does not need decoration. It is pure, direct, and unwavering. It speaks once and expects obedience. This is not a hope nor a wish, it is a decree. To live in this state is to walk in quiet power. You no longer chase, plead, or push, you command. You speak, and then you rest in the certainty that what you declared is already unfolding. Your inner atmosphere becomes steady, calm, and radiant. Doubt loses its grip because it cannot survive in the presence of true authority. Your energy no longer leaks through fear or indecision. It concentrates, sharpens, and aligns with the infinite law of supply. Speaking with unwavering authority is the act of a soul that knows its inheritance. It is not trying to get something. It is claiming what already exists in the invisible. Every word spoken from this level of consciousness sends out a current that cannot return void. It goes forth clothed in the power of divine law, and creation must shape itself around it. This is how miracles appear without strain. This is how abundance flows without resistance. This is how destiny obeys the voice that dares to speak as one with the power that moves worlds. To command, not plead, is to step out of the realm of lack and into the throne room of power, where the spoken word is law. The act of pleading is born from the belief that what you desire is distant, uncertain, or controlled by something outside yourself. Pleading places the power in the hands of chance, of circumstance, of other people, or of time. But to command is to remember who you are, the channel through which the infinite expresses itself. It is to know that the invisible responds to the tone of authority, not to the tremor of begging. When you command, you do not seek permission. You issue the word, and the forces of creation align in silent obedience. Pleading carries the vibration of separation. It whispers to the universe, "I don't have it yet," and the law mirrors back the same reality. Every plea reinforces the feeling of distance between you and your desire, building invisible walls of delay. But a command is the vibration of possession. It declares, "It is mine," not as an act of hope, but as a statement of truth. The universe does not respond to words alone. It responds to the state behind the words. The tone of command carries certainty, a stillness that tells the invisible there is nothing left to negotiate. When the farmer plants a seed, he does not plead with the earth to grow it. He knows the law is already at work. He simply gives the command through the act of planting and trusts the invisible forces to bring forth the harvest. In the same way, your words are seeds. When spoken as commands, they are planted deep in the rich soil of the unseen. Pleading is like digging the seed up again and again, doubting the process, questioning the timing. Commanding plants at once and walks away with serene assurance. The energy of a plea is scattered and weak. It comes from a place of lack, of trying to convince, of hoping something might respond if the cry is loud enough. But the energy of a command is focused and sharp. It does not try to convince anything because it already knows the outcome. It does not ask, "Will this work?" It declares, "This works now." When the voice carries that vibration, the unseen moves like an obedient servant, arranging people, circumstances, and opportunities to match the decree. Those who plead believe they are separate from the source of their good. Those who command know they are one with it. A plea says, "Give this to me." A command says, "This is already mine." Pleading vibrates with fear of not receiving. Commanding vibrates with the certainty of possession. Pleading bends the spine and lowers the gaze. Commanding stands tall, shoulders open, vision fixed on what already belongs to you. The difference is not in the words themselves, but in the consciousness behind them. Two people may say the same phrase, one as a plea, one as a command, and the universe will respond to them in opposite ways. The words, "I will have it," when whispered with uncertainty, build delay, but the same words spoken as a decree collapse time. Power lies in the tone, the inner stance, the certainty. Many wonder why their affirmations feel hollow, why their prayers feel unanswered, why their desires seem distant. It is because they are wrapped in the vibration of asking rather than declaring. The invisible does not respond to need. It responds to knowing. Need is a signal of absence, and absence attracts more absence. Command is a signal of presence, and presence attracts more of itself. This is the subtle but mighty difference between those who wish and those who create. Commanding does not require aggression or volume. It does not need to be shouted from mountaintops. True command is quiet, steady, and unshakable. It is like the deep hum of the earth, low and powerful, resonating through every layer of reality. A whispered command with unwavering certainty shakes the unseen more than a shouted plea soaked in fear. The invisible recognizes the vibration of one who remembers their authority. The child of a king does not beg for bread at the royal table. They take their seat and receive what is theirs by right. In the same way, when you command, you take your seat at the table of infinite supply. You do not ask the universe if it might grant your wish. You speak as one who knows the law is already set, the abundance already flowing, the good already accomplished. The law is impersonal. It does not reward the one who begs more loudly. It responds to the one who knows how to command with faith. To command is to hold your ground when appearances whisper the opposite. It is to say, "It is done," even when the evidence has not yet shown itself in form. Pleading looks at appearances and reacts to them. Commanding looks beyond appearances and declares the invisible reality. Pleading vibrates with the energy of waiting. Commanding vibrates with the energy of already having. This is why those who live in command often appear calm, unshaken, and radiant. They are not waiting for signs. They are aware the signs will follow their word. Pleading watches for proof before believing. Commanding believes, and proof must follow. Pleading tries to bargain with the universe, to negotiate with doubt, to explain why it should be answered. Commanding has no need to explain. It is the vibration of truth itself. This way of speaking shifts your entire inner world. When you stop pleading, the air around your words changes. Your body language transforms. Your thoughts become disciplined. Your inner voice stops wandering in circles of doubt and begins to march forward like a steady drumbeat. You become a transmitter of certainty, and certainty bends reality to its rhythm. Commanding does not arise from arrogance or ego. It flows from alignment. It is not the human personality forcing outcomes. It is the divine current flowing through you, issuing its decree through your voice. This is why the one who commands must first quiet the noise of fear and align with the stillness of power. A command without alignment is hollow. But when alignment is present, even a few words carry the weight of mountains. Pleading says, "Please let it happen." Commanding says, "It is happening now." Pleading bends under the illusion of powerlessness. Commanding stands in the light of divine inheritance. Pleading is the language of delay. Commanding is the language of manifestation. Pleading looks outward. Commanding speaks from within. The invisible world does not question your worthiness. It only reflects your vibration. If you plead, it mirrors back the state of wanting. If you command, it mirrors back the state of having. This is why commanding is not simply about speech, but about embodiment. When you command, every cell in your being must align with the declaration. Your breath must carry certainty. Your heartbeat must drum to the rhythm of "It is already mine." In the silence before the command, you prepare the ground. You let go of every trace of fear, every echo of doubt, every whisper of "what if." Then from that quiet power you speak. You say the word once and let the unseen do its work. There is no scrambling, no chasing, no pushing. The authority of your command is enough. The unseen moves not because it is pressured, but because it is directed. Those who command understand that they are not trying to get something. They are calling into visibility what already exists in the invisible. Pleading treats the invisible as a reluctant giver. Commanding treats it as a faithful servant. This difference shifts the entire field of creation. Pleading vibrates low, like a flickering candle. Commanding vibrates steady, like a blazing sun. To command is to remember. To command is to return to the original state of dominion. To command is to speak from the center of your being, not from the edges of fear. To command is to plant the flag of certainty in the ground of your reality and let the universe rearrange itself around your decree. Commanding does not waver, does not beg, does not explain. It speaks. And creation listens. Words shape invisible substance with a precision that is far more exact than most dare to imagine. Every spoken word is a thread woven into the unseen fabric of reality, and from those threads form the patterns of experience. The physical world is not the beginning of creation, but the result of it, for what is seen is merely the shadow of what was first spoken or declared. Words are not idle sounds floating into empty air. They are living forces, carriers of vibration, each wrapped in the energy of the consciousness that speaks them. They go forth into the unseen, take shape in the substance of the invisible, and return clothed in form. When a word is spoken with conviction, it imprints itself upon the field of infinite substance, leaving an indelible mark that must come forth in time and space. Invisible substance is not some distant abstraction, it is the living, breathing essence that surrounds all things, the pliable field waiting to be molded by direction. It does not resist, it only receives and responds. The tone, emotion, and belief wrapped around each word act as the mold, and the substance flows to fill that mold with flawless obedience. When words are spoken in fear, the invisible substance shapes itself into obstacles and delays. When words are spoken in faith, the invisible substance flows into pathways and provisions. The invisible has no will of its own. It simply mirrors the vibration that reaches it. This is why careless speech is never truly careless. Words uttered without awareness still have power. A passing complaint may seem insignificant, but it sets in motion small currents that build and gather strength. Repeated over time, these small currents grow into waves that wash over the shores of experience. A single seed may seem small, but a field of them planted daily shapes entire landscapes. Words are seeds. Words are molds. Words are architects of the unseen. When one understands this, the weight of every syllable becomes apparent. Idle chatter ceases to be idle, for the law listens to everything. The unseen does not differentiate between what you say lightly and what you say with gravity. It simply obeys. If a word is wrapped in emotion, its imprint deepens, for emotion is the fire that forges the invisible shape more quickly. A fearful phrase repeated with feeling can build a wall without a brick ever being laid. A word of power spoken with faith can open doors that appear sealed shut. The moment a word leaves your lips, it travels farther than your ear can hear. It passes beyond the air, beyond the room, beyond the visible realm, entering the great field where everything is formed. That field does not debate, argue, or delay. It receives, absorbs, and begins to shape. This is why spoken words are not like passing thoughts. Thoughts whisper, words command. Thoughts stir the air, words carve into the unseen. When thought and word align, their force magnifies. Words shape not only outer circumstances, but the inner atmosphere of the speaker. The sound of your own voice becomes the script written on the walls of your inner world. When you declare limitation, you breathe that limitation into the very air around you. When you declare abundance, your atmosphere shifts to match it. You live inside the structure your own words build. They are not separate from you. They return like echoes, carrying the shape of what you have set in motion. This is why those who speak with care and intention begin to see their lives align with grace and precision. They have learned to be architects rather than wanderers. They do not scatter their power in casual speech. They select their words as a sculptor selects their tools. They understand that invisible substance takes its orders from the voice. If their speech is filled with doubt, they do not blame the world for the reflection that appears. If their speech is filled with power, they watch as the world rearranges itself accordingly. Every structure, every fortune, every miracle began as a word spoken either aloud or inwardly, but eventually declared with the authority of sound. Sound carries a vibration that travels where the eyes cannot see. When spoken with belief, it becomes a living current, moving through the field like wind through tall grass, shaping everything it touches. You do not need to see it to know it is working. A seed buried in the soil works in silence long before the sprout appears. Words work in the invisible long before the evidence manifests. The invisible substance does not understand hesitation. It understands command. It responds to the word that carries no doubt in its tone. A wavering word builds fragile forms, collapsing at the slightest resistance. A steady word, spoken once with power, builds structures that endure. It is not the loudness of the voice that shapes substance, but the steadiness of the vibration. A whisper of certainty can create more swiftly than a scream of uncertainty. To shape invisible substance with words, one must first become aware of the constant flow of speech. Many speak as if their words vanish into nothing, unaware that each phrase is a building block. They speak of lack, then wonder why lack expands. They speak of delay, then wonder why time stretches. They speak of doubt, then wonder why doors seem closed. They are architects who build without knowing they are building. But when awareness dawns, the power to shape with precision awakens. To speak is to create. To speak is to give form to the formless. Each word carries an image, even if unseen by the eye. When you say, "I cannot," the invisible substance molds itself into closed pathways. When you say, "I can," the substance shapes itself into open roads. When you say, "I have," it arranges itself to match the vibration of possession. The unseen listens to every word as a decree, not a suggestion. Those who master their words begin to shape their world as an artist shapes clay. They do not allow fear to spill through their speech like ink staining a page. They speak deliberately, with calm power, knowing that every word is a brushstroke painting their tomorrow. They do not chase results, they build them in the invisible first. They speak the word and let substance obey its law. The voice does not merely describe reality, it defines it. When one says, "This is hard," they are not commenting on a fixed reality. They are commanding substance to take the shape of difficulty. When one says, "This flows with ease," they instruct the invisible to rearrange itself into ease. Words do not report the news, they write the script. The universe acts upon the script as faithfully as a stage follows its playwright. Invisible substance has no resistance to your command, but it also has no filter. It does not decide whether what you say is beneficial or harmful. It only shapes what is spoken. This is why vigilance in speech is not mere discipline, but creation itself. Those who speak power and abundance build pathways of gold beneath their feet. Those who speak fear and lack build barriers before they even take their next step. A word is never just a word. It is a decree dressed in sound. It is a vibration that goes out and returns, bearing fruit of its own kind. Words of strength return as strength. Words of defeat return as defeat. Words of wealth return as opportunities. Words of scarcity return as obstacles. The harvest may not appear in the same form as the seed, but the essence is always a match. When this truth settles into the soul, the act of speaking becomes sacred. The lips no longer fling words carelessly into the wind. They become the instruments of creation. Silence is used not as a void but as a space of power, for in silence the sculptor chooses the next form to bring forth. And when the word is finally spoken, it is spoken with precision, clarity, and force. In every moment, the invisible substance stands ready, awaiting its instructions. It does not sleep, it does not rest, it does not question. It mirrors, it shapes, it obeys. Your words are the tools, the blueprints, the hands that mold it. The reality you inhabit is not built by chance, it is built by the words you have spoken over days, months, years. Each declaration a beam, each phrase a stone, each statement a door or a wall. To know this is to hold power in your mouth. The voice becomes the instrument that moves worlds. Words are no longer mere expressions. They are forces that shape the very air you breathe. They rise from the unseen, travel through you, and return as form. They are both seed and harvest, beginning and result. The invisible waits, and the word gives it shape. Faith magnetizes abundance in a way that nothing else can. It is the silent force that moves through the unseen, drawing opportunities, resources, ideas, and people toward the one who holds it steady. Faith is not an emotion that comes and goes. It is a current, a steady hum beneath the noise of appearances. Where fear scatters energy, faith gathers it. Where doubt builds walls, faith opens gates. It is not the frantic effort of trying to make things happen, but the calm pull of a magnetic power that knows the outcome is already secure. Faith does not chase abundance, it causes abundance to come closer, like iron drawn to a magnet hidden beneath the surface. Abundance is not something that needs to be forced into existence. It is already flowing through the invisible realm, ready to be claimed. Faith acts as the bridge between the seen and the unseen, allowing what is already present in potential to crystallize into form. When one holds faith, The field of possibility responds with movement, aligning circumstances in a way that cannot be orchestrated by logic alone. It is as if the unseen hears a frequency, and that frequency rearranges everything to match it. Faith is that frequency. Many speak of wanting abundance while holding doubt close like a companion. But abundance cannot be magnetized by conflicting vibrations. A single steady stream of faith draws it with ease, while doubt pushes it away. Faith says, "It is already mine." Doubt whispers, "What if it never comes?" The invisible listens not to the words alone, but to the vibration beneath them. If faith dominates, the unseen answers with precision. If doubt dominates, the signal becomes weak and scattered. Faith does not require evidence to be strong. It does not depend on signs to believe. It is the knowing before the showing. It is the calm conviction that abundance is not something to be earned through struggle, but something to be received through alignment. Those who walk in faith move differently. They carry an atmosphere that speaks louder than their words. Their steps are firm, their gaze steady, their energy centered. They do not need to explain their certainty because faith is its own language. When faith fills the inner space, it radiates outward. The world, like a mirror, reflects that inner state back through circumstances. It is not the outer world that brings faith. It is faith that shapes the outer world. It reaches beyond logic and rearranges paths, lifts veils, opens doors that seemed invisible a moment before. Faith does not ask, "How will it happen?" It declares, "It already is," and allows the unseen to design the way. Abundance is sensitive to the vibration of faith. It does not come to the one who grasps and clings with fear. It flows to the one who stands open and sure, knowing they are the rightful receiver. Faith is not blind. It is sight beyond sight. It looks past appearances, past temporary lack, past delays, and sees only the reality that already exists in the invisible. When faith is fixed, appearances lose their power to sway. The outer world may tremble, but faith stands unmoved, and abundance cannot resist that kind of certainty. The magnetism of faith is not loud or demanding. It is quiet, steady, and irresistible. Just as the Earth's magnetic field silently pulls the compass needle, faith silently pulls the right conditions into place. This is why one does not need to chase abundance. It is not the running that brings it, but the alignment of vibration. Faith becomes a silent call that abundance cannot ignore. When one lives in faith, opportunities begin to appear where none seem to exist. People arrive at the perfect moment. Solutions unfold as if they had been waiting for the exact frequency of belief. This is not coincidence, it is law. Faith is the signal that sets the law in motion. It tells the invisible, "Now is the time," and the invisible obeys. The opposite of this is striving without faith, which creates exhaustion. When a person tries to force abundance through doubt and fear, their energy becomes scattered. They push and push, but nothing moves. The door seems closed, not because it is locked, but because their vibration does not match the key. Faith is the key. It turns the invisible lock without struggle, and the door swings open with quiet ease. Faith does not rely on the five senses. It moves by a deeper sense, the sense of inner knowing. Even when the outer world is silent, faith speaks. Even when the evidence has not arrived, faith sees it already done. This inner vision is what magnetizes the outer form. The unseen responds to the inner picture, held with unwavering belief. This is why faith cannot be half-hearted. A flickering belief sends a flickering signal. A steady belief sends a clear command. Abundance is not a reward for the worthy. It is a law responding to faith. It does not choose favorites. It responds to vibration. Those who believe with unwavering certainty find doors opening effortlessly. Those who doubt find doors remaining unseen, though they stand right before them. The difference is not in luck, but in faith. When faith is strong, timing bends to meet it. What once seemed distant arrives with uncanny speed. Resources that once felt scarce appear with ease. Paths that once looked complicated become simple. Faith creates a gravitational pull around the one who holds it. It is not merely positive thinking, it is alignment with the law of supply. To cultivate faith is to quiet the noise of doubt. Doubt speaks loudly, pointing at appearances and whispering stories of lack. Faith does not argue with doubt, it overrides it. Faith does not need to prove itself, it simply stands. The more it stands, the more abundance gathers. Faith has a still power, a gravity that does not waver with the winds of circumstance. This is why true faith feels effortless. It is not a clenched jaw and tight grip, it is an open hand. It is the deep breath before the wave arrives, knowing the wave is already on its way. The one who believes does not chase the tide, they prepare to receive it. The universe hears faith more clearly than any plea. Faith is a clear signal, pleading is static. Faith calls abundance home, fear drives it away. Faith does not need to control the how, it only needs to declare the what. The how is the language of the invisible, and the invisible speaks fluently. Faith is not about trying to figure out the path. It is about knowing the path will reveal itself in perfect order. Abundance is drawn to this energy as naturally as rivers flow to the sea. Faith magnetizes abundance not through effort, but through alignment. It pulls without pulling, speaks without shouting, moves without forcing. It is the still center in a spinning world, the quiet certainty in a noisy storm. Those who hold it steady become living magnets. Opportunities orbit them. Ideas find them. Resources flow to them. Doors open without knocking. The invisible recognizes faith like a familiar sound. It does not question or delay when that sound is heard. It begins to move, to arrange, to gather, to unfold. This is why faith has always been described as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It is the bridge between what is imagined and what becomes real. It is the invisible hand that draws the visible into place. The great secret is that abundance is already circling, waiting for a signal to land. Faith is that landing signal. Doubt clouds it, fear scatters it, but faith clears the air. It stands as a beacon in the unseen, a bright and unwavering light. And to that light, abundance is drawn without hesitation. The universe obeys certainty with a precision that defies logic. It moves not in response to wishes, hopes, or half-hearted declarations, but to the vibration of a steady, unwavering command. Certainty is the language the unseen understands best. It is not loud, but it is absolute. It does not falter or question itself. It does not wonder if it will be heard. It knows it already has been. When certainty is spoken, the universe aligns like iron filings to a magnetic field, moving into place without hesitation. The invisible does not need convincing, it needs direction, and certainty is that direction. Uncertainty sends mixed signals into the field, like static interrupting a clear broadcast. One moment it says come, the next it whispers wait, and then it trembles with what if. This scattered vibration leaves the invisible in a state of flux, unable to bring anything into full form. But certainty sends a single tone, unwavering, like a clear bell ringing in still air. The universe responds with movement that is swift, precise, and undeniable. Certainty acts as a key in the invisible lock, turning with ease what doubt cannot budge. Certainty is not arrogance. It is not the pounding of fists against the walls of reality. It is the calm stillness of one who knows they are standing in alignment with the law that governs everything. It is quiet power. It does not chase or struggle. It declares, and then it rests. That rest is not inaction. It is the confidence of a seed knowing that once planted, the soil will do its work. Certainty plants, and then waits in peace, knowing the harvest must follow. The invisible realm is exact. It mirrors what it receives without deviation. If it receives hesitation, it reflects hesitation. If it receives certainty, it reflects manifestation. This is why those who speak once with firm conviction often see results faster than those who repeat their declarations 100 times with doubt woven between the words. It is not the number of words, but the strength of the signal that commands movement. A single beam of steady light cuts through the darkness more powerfully than 100 flickering flames. Certainty does not depend on appearances. It does not shift with the winds of external evidence. It stands like a pillar, unmoved, even when the world around it sways. Appearances are temporary, shadows of old vibrations. Certainty speaks from the eternal, not the fleeting. It looks at the unseen, not at the wavering forms of the visible world. It declares what is, even when the senses say otherwise, and by declaring it with unwavering strength, it causes the visible to rearrange itself to match. When a mind is certain, its energy gathers instead of scattering. It stops leaking power into doubt, fear, or second-guessing. It focuses, sharpens, and radiates in a single direction. This radiation is felt by everything in its field. Circumstances begin to bend. People sense the clarity without needing explanation. Opportunities begin to align as if pulled by an invisible thread. Certainty creates order out of chaos because chaos cannot resist a steady vibration. To live in certainty is to live in quiet dominion. It is not about control over others or over events, but about standing so firmly in alignment with your word that the universe has no choice but to reflect it. It is the state where inner and outer no longer conflict. What is spoken inwardly is what is experienced outwardly. There is no gap between the two. The universe does not obey doubt because doubt is not a command, it is a question. It asks instead of declares. It wonders instead of knowing. The invisible does not act on questions, it mirrors them. A question returns as uncertainty, delay, or confusion, but a word spoken with certainty is like a blueprint pressed into the formless. The formless takes that blueprint and builds without hesitation. When certainty fills the voice, even a whisper carries power. The force is not in volume but in vibration. A quiet statement of certainty shakes more in the unseen than a loud cry of desperation. The law does not respond to noise. It responds to precision. It responds to the still core beneath the word. This is why one who truly believes does not need to repeat themselves again and again. One clear declaration, held in unwavering trust, carries farther than 100 uncertain attempts. Certainty is not built on external proof. It is born from inner knowing. It does not wait to see in order to believe, it believes, and then it sees. This reversal is what separates those who move the unseen from those who wait endlessly for signs. Certainty does not ask for permission from appearances, it speaks from authority, not from need. When certainty is present, time itself bends. What was expected to take years can arrive in months. What seemed distant can step forward swiftly. This is not magic in the sense of the fantastical. It is the precision of a law responding to an exact vibration. The invisible has no resistance to certainty. It cannot argue with it. It is drawn to it and molded by it. Those who live in certainty walk through the world differently. Their steps are deliberate, their eyes calm, their presence steady. Others sense something in them, not arrogance, but a quiet power. Things seem to happen around them in ways others call coincidence, but it is not coincidence. It is obedience. The universe recognizes certainty as an instruction. Certainty requires the letting go of doubt, not by fighting it, but by rising above it. Doubt belongs to the realm of appearances. Certainty belongs to the realm of truth. When the inner gaze is fixed on truth, doubt loses its grip like a shadow that vanishes when the light grows strong. Certainty does not argue with doubt, it simply stands taller than it. The invisible does not work through fragmented signals, it requires a singular, unwavering vibration. This is why inner clarity is as essential as outer speech. If the voice declares abundance, but the heart trembles with lack, the signal is split, and the universe receives confusion. But when the voice and heart are united in certainty, the signal becomes clear and irresistible. The universe obeys it as surely as water flows to the sea. Certainty is not frantic, It does not rush, chase, or grasp. It stands, and standing is enough. It does not beg for a sign because it is the sign. It does not demand proof because it already knows. This calm confidence sends out a frequency that reaches far beyond words. It speaks in a language older than language itself, the language of unwavering truth. In the quiet of certainty, everything begins to move. It is a silent authority that does not need to fight to be heard. The universe hears it the moment it is felt, not when it is shouted. This is why certainty is often invisible to others, but unmissable in its results. One who commands with certainty does not always look grand or dramatic. Sometimes they are silent, still, and radiant, with an unshakable knowing. Certainty does not entertain contradiction. It does not waver between maybe and must. It is not half open, half closed. It is complete. The universe responds to this completion. It moves where certainty points, like a tide following the moon. It shapes itself around the firm line drawn by the one who knows. To embody certainty is to become a conductor of the invisible. It is to give the formless something unshakable to build upon. It is to send out a signal that says, "This is," and to watch as everything begins to rearrange itself to match that declaration. Certainty is not force. It is presence. It is the stillness that makes everything else move. It is the unwavering voice that the universe recognizes instantly.
Before you speak, the universe waits. Before you ask, the supply is already prepared. But the door to your abundance does not open through effort. It opens through vibration. It opens through a word that aligns your soul with the hidden current of divine wealth. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, "Your word is your wand." But what she truly meant was that your word is the password, the key that unlocks the invisible portal between thought and form. Every blessing, every dollar, every miracle waits in that field of spirit, untouched and undelivered, until your vibration matches the law that governs it. The rich in faith do not chase money. They command it through consciousness. They speak, and the unseen rearranges. They declare, and heaven responds. Because the money portal, that invisible gateway of divine exchange, does not respond to need, it responds to alignment. And alignment begins with a single spoken truth. I am already connected to my supply. So tonight, beloved, as you listen to these words, let the outer world fade. Let the noise grow quiet. Because what you are about to learn is not a method. It is a revelation. You are about to open the portal that Spirit built for you before you were born. And once it opens, nothing can keep your good from finding you. Every word you speak vibrates beyond your body. It travels through invisible corridors of energy. The moment you say, "I can't," you lock a door. The moment you say, "I receive," a door swings wide open. Florence said, "There is a magic word for every situation. That magic word isn't given by chance. It's revealed through faith. The wealthy in spirit repeat words that carry divine permission. I am ready. I am worthy. I am supplied. These are not wishes. They are passwords. Before a single coin moves, before a single door opens, your word moves first. The word is the beginning of every miracle. Your tongue is the golden key that turns a visible lock. What you speak shapes the field around you. It calls, it commands, it creates. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Your word is your wand." But hear this deeper truth: your word is not just a wand. It is a portal. Every phrase you speak vibrates beyond your body. It travels through unseen corridors of light, searching for a match. When your word is charged with fear, it finds doors of limitation. When your word is filled with faith, it finds the gates of abundance, and they swing wide open. Say softly now, "I open the portal with faith." Again, open the portal with faith. But each time you say those words, the air around you changes. You might not see it yet, but heaven hears it instantly. Your word carries your intention like a messenger of light. The universe doesn't respond to noise, it responds to vibration, and your word is vibration made visible. Think for a moment about how easily we speak. We say, I can't, it's hard, I'm broke. Each of those sentences is a password, but the wrong one. They lock the door. They dim the light. They send your supply in the opposite direction. But when you say, I receive, the portal recognizes you. It knows your frequency. It remembers your name. Say aloud now, I receive with peace. I receive with joy. Again, I receive with peace. I receive with joy. Before you speak, the universe waits. Before you ask, the supply is already prepared. But the door to your abundance does not open through effort. It opens through vibration. It opens through a word that aligns your soul with the hidden current of divine wealth. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, your word is your wand. But what she truly meant was that your word is the password, the key that unlocks the invisible portal between thought and form. Every blessing, every dollar, every miracle waits in that field of spirit, untouched and undelivered, until your vibration matches the law that governs it. The rich in faith do not chase money. They command it through consciousness. They speak, and the unseen rearranges. They declare, and heaven responds. Because the money portal, that invisible gateway of divine exchange, does not respond to need, it responds to alignment. And alignment begins with a single spoken truth. I am already connected to my supply. So tonight, beloved, as you listen to these words, let the outer world fade. Let the noise grow quiet. Because what you are about to learn is not a method. It is a revelation. You are about to open the portal that Spirit built for you before you were born. And once it opens, nothing can keep your good from finding you. Every word you speak vibrates beyond your body. It travels through invisible corridors of energy. The moment you say, I can't, you lock a door. The moment you say, I receive, a door swings wide open. Florence said, there is a magic word for every situation. That magic word isn't given by chance. It's revealed through faith. The wealthy in spirit repeat words that carry divine permission. I am ready. I am worthy. I am supplied. These are not wishes. They are passwords. Before a single coin moves, before a single door opens, your word moves first. The word is the beginning of every miracle. Your tongue is the golden key that turns a visible lock. What you speak shapes the field around you. It calls, it commands, it creates. Florence Scovel Shinn said, your word is your wand. But hear this deeper truth, your word is not just a wand. It is a portal. Every phrase you speak vibrates beyond your body. It travels through unseen corridors of light, searching for a match. When your word is charged with fear, it finds doors of limitation. When your word is filled with faith, it finds the gates of abundance, and they swing wide open. Say softly now, I open the portal with faith. Again, open the portal with faith. But each time you say those words, the air around you changes. You might not see it yet, but heaven hears it instantly. Your word carries your intention like a messenger of light. The universe doesn't respond to noise. It responds to vibration, and your word is vibration made visible. Think for a moment about how easily we speak. We say, I can't, it's hard, I'm broke. Each of those sentences is a password, but the wrong one. They lock the door. They dim the light. They send your supply in the opposite direction. But when you say, I receive, the portal recognizes you. It knows your frequency. It remembers your name. Say aloud now, I receive with peace. I receive with joy. Again, I receive with peace. I receive with joy. Can you feel how that sentence breathes differently? The energy softens. The room feels lighter. That is alignment. That is the portal responding. Beloved, there is the magic word for every situation. When lack appears, the magic word is provision. When fear whispers, the word is faith. When doors close, the word is grace. Each of these words holds a divine signature, a frequency the universe recognizes as truth. Speak them, and you call order out of chaos. Florence taught, man's word sets in motion unseen forces that return multiplied. So each word you speak is not a sentence. It is a seed. And the soil is not out there. It is your own subconscious. Plant wisely, water with gratitude, harvest in faith. You don't need to shout. The portal does not respond to volume. It responds to vibration. Even a whisper of truth can part the invisible veil. Say gently, Infinite Spirit, open the way for my supply. Again. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my supply. When you say those words with feeling, you activate ancient law. The divine mind begins to organize circumstances. Ideas start flowing. People begin thinking of you. Money begins moving through new channels. All because you dared to speak the right word. The wealthy in spirit understand this. They do not complain, they command. They do not describe lack, they declare abundance. They don't repeat the story of fear, they repeat the language of faith. Because they know that every word is a creation code, and creation listens. Say now, my words create wealth. Again. My words create wealth. One more time, my words create wealth. You can feel it, can't you? That tingling in your chest. That quiet heat around your heart. That is your aura opening. That is the energy of your spoken truth rewriting your reality. So tonight, choose words that lift, not lower. When doubt enters, answer softly, peace be still. When worry knocks, say, all is well. When the world says you can't, whisper, I am divinely supplied. Each time you speak in faith, another lock clicks open. The portal does not exist somewhere far away. It surrounds you. It is the invisible field. Listen in to your every declaration. It waits for your permission to deliver what has been yours all along. The moment you speak in truth, it obeys the law of your own belief. Say this final decree for tonight. My words are alive with divine power. They open doors no man can close. They summon my wealth now, under grace, in perfect ways. Oh, again, my words are alive with divine power. They open doors no man can close. They summon my wealth now, under grace, in perfect ways. Breathe deeply. Feel the stillness after the sentence. That silence is the sound of heaven moving. Your word has been spoken. The portal has heard. And nothing can unspeak what faith has declared. Every soul carries a sound. It is the tone of your belief, the vibration that heaven recognizes long before your lips move. When you speak from fear, the tone trembles. When you speak from faith, the tone becomes gold. It cuts through dimensions. It awakens angels. It tells the universe, I am ready. Florence Scovel Shinn said, faith never argues or pleads. It simply knows. Heaven listens to that knowing. It hears it even when you do not speak aloud. Because creation does not obey your volume. It obeys your vibration. You can say 1,000 affirmations and feel nothing, and nothing will change. But if you whisper one sentence filled with conviction, the entire universe will move for you. Because it is not the words alone. It is the sound behind them. The rich in faith understand this. They speak softly, but the world bends around their decree. They carry authority, not arrogance. They speak with the sound of rest, not resistance. They know that the moment they speak truth, it becomes law. Say this now gently but with certainty. My voice carries the sound of wealth. Again. My voice carries the sound of wealth. You may not realize it, but every sound you create shapes energy. Every sigh of fear sends confusion into the field. Every laugh of gratitude sends light rushing to meet you. You are surrounded by your own echo, and the universe answers in kind. Florence said, "Man can only receive what he feels is his by divine right. So if your tone is filled with desperation, the law hears lack. But when your tone is calm, confident, thankful, heaven says, 'Ah, they already believe it's done.' And then it is. This is why you must guard your vibration like sacred treasure. It is not enough to repeat phrases mechanically. You must feel them, breathe them, become them. Let your words carry warmth, trust, certainty. Speak them as if they are already true, because they are. Say softly, 'Everything I desire already exists in spirit.' Again, 'Everything I desire already exists in spirit.' Can you feel how your chest relaxes when you say that? That release is faith. That peace is power. That tone is the sound heaven responds to. When you are anxious, your voice contracts. When you are trusting, your voice expands. The universe can hear the difference. It knows whether you are pushing or allowing. That's why the miracles arrive when you least expect them, when you have finally relaxed into belief. Beloved, even silence has a sound. It is the hum of your energy field. When you sit in peace, that vibration becomes pure, radiant, irresistible. Money, opportunities, and good fortune begin to travel toward you, drawn to the frequency of stillness. Because in stillness, you sound like God. Say this now, slowly, feeling it move through you. My silence is magnetic. My silence is magnetic. Again, my silence is not empty. My silence is magnetic. You do not need to shout to be heard by heaven. You only need to speak with authority. The tone of your certainty is louder than any volume of fear. It's the voice of creation recognizing itself in you. Florence said, "When man knows his word is his power, he will no longer use it carelessly. So speak gently. Speak truthfully. Speak as if heaven is listening, because it is. And when you do, you will begin to notice that your world listens too. Doors will open with ease. People will respond differently. Money will start appearing through unexpected channels. Why? Because the sound of your energy has changed. The vibration of your word now matches abundance itself. Say this once more. I speak with divine authority. My words carry heaven's tone. All that belongs to me recognizes my sound and finds me now. Again, I speak with divine authority. My words carry heaven's tone. All that belongs to me recognizes my sound and finds me now. Let the echo of those words linger. Let it fill the room. Feel the invisible respond. That feeling, that warmth spreading through your body, is proof that the portal is listening. It knows the sound of your faith now, and once heaven recognizes your tone, it never forgets it. There is a secret hidden within your heart, an ancient, divine technology that powers creation itself. It is emotion. Emotion is not weakness, it is energy in motion. It is the electricity of the soul, the current that makes your words alive. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Man's word is charged with power according to the feeling behind it. Without feeling, words are empty shells, sound without light, sentences without life. But when you speak with emotion, heaven feels it. The universe does not listen to syllables, it listens to your vibration. And that vibration is determined by what you feel. Beloved, when you speak the words of wealth but feel fear, the signal is scrambled. But when you speak from gratitude, love, peace, the sound becomes pure light. It shoots through the invisible and calls your blessings by name. Emotion is not decoration erection. It tells the universe exactly where to send your supply. Say this now, gently. My emotions are divine energy. I feel peace. I feel wealth. Again, my emotions are divine energy. I feel peace. I feel wealth. I feel love. Can you feel the difference? The body softens. The air seems clearer. That is the magnetic field of truth forming around you. Each emotion is a command. Each feeling is a prayer. Each vibration is a frequency of creation. Florence said, gratitude is the law of increase. That means the more you feel thankful, the more reasons you're given to be thankful. Gratitude multiplies supply because it vibrates as completion. It says, I already have it. And heaven responds by sending more of what matches that signal. So when you want more, feel enough. When you desire increase, feel thank you. When you dream of wealth, feed is done. Emotion transforms words from thoughts into things. Say softly, thank you, infinite spirit, that my supply is already flowing. Thank you, infinite spirit, that my supply is already flowing. Beloved, the rich in spirit do not fake emotion. They cultivate it. They don't wait to feel good before speaking faith. They speak until they feel good. That is the secret. They use their emotions not as action, but as creation. When they feel peace, they are not escaping the world. They are shaping it. When they feel joy, they are not being naive. They are aligning with divine law. Because the vibration of joy is identical to the vibration of abundance. They are the same current wearing different names. You must become emotionally fluent. Learn to speak the language of calm. Learn to translate gratitude into frequency. Learn to let love become your vibration of wealth. Say this now, I feel wealthy. I feel worthy. I feel safe to receive. Again, I feel wealthy. I feel worthy. I feel safe to receive. These are not empty affirmations, they are emotional activations. When you feel them, the energy around you begins to shimmer. The air thickens with possibility. You might notice a chill or warmth moving through your body. That is energy responding, rearranging, aligning. Florence said, change your feeling, and you change your destiny. And it is true. The emotion you sustain most often becomes your environment. So if you feel peace, peace surrounds you. If you feel lack, lack obeys you. Emotion writes the invisible script of your life. Beloved, you cannot lie to your vibration. You can speak prosperity and still feel lack. And the universe will answer the feeling, not the word. So speak slowly, lovingly, until your words and your feelings unite. That unit is power. That unity is law. Say softly, my words and feelings are one. My vibration is wealth. Again, my words and feelings are one. My vibration is wealth. When you live this way, every emotion becomes sacred. Sadness becomes surrender. Peace becomes magnetism. Joy becomes prophecy. Because all are vibrations leading you back to truth. Emotion is not a storm to escape. It is a current to direct. When you feel gratitude, you are steering that current toward wealth. When you feel love, you are connecting to the source of all supply. When you feel faith, you are already inside the portal itself. Florence said, faith knows it has already received. And that knowing feels like calm. That is the emotion of completion. That is the sound heaven recognizes. So tonight, before you speak your decree, pause. Close your eyes. Find the feeling. Breathe until you feel thankful. Not because you have received, but because you know it is already yours. And when that peace fills your body, then speak. Because that emotion, that calm conviction, is the electricity that will carry your word through every dimension until it returns as form. Say this once more before we move on. My emotions obey divine law. I feel peace, I feel wealth, I feel completion. And so it is. The universe moves in perfect rhythm. It is never late, never early, always exact. When you learn to trust this rhythm, your anxiety dissolves. You begin to understand that nothing is being withheld from you. Everything is being prepared for you. Florence Scovel Shinn said, faith knows it has already received. That means true faith never asks, when? Because it knows the law of timing is always precise. Divine supply does not delay, it arranges. It waits for the perfect moment when your vibration, your readiness, and your opportunity all align like stars in a sacred pattern. Beloved, impatience is the language of fear. Faith speaks softly in the language of rest. When you trust the unseen, the portal opens without resistance. The moment you stop trying to control, heaven starts to deliver. Say softly, I release the need to hurry. My timing is divine. Again, I release the need to hurry. My timing is divine. There is a peace that comes when you stop fighting the clock. You begin to see how everything that felt delayed was actually protection. How rejection was redirection. How waiting was weaving something greater behind the curtain of time. Florence said, Infinite Spirit opens the way for my immediate supply. Notice the balance in her words. Immediate supply. Yet under grace and in perfect ways. That means miracles happen quickly, but never chaotically. They arrive when peace is present, not pressure. So many chase wealth like a runner chasing wind, exhausted, doubtful, always grasping. But the rich in spirit walk slowly. They know not lazy, they are aligned. They know that timing is not a thief. It is a teacher. They do not rush, they radiate. Say this now, gently but with authority. My wealth arrives on time, in perfect order. Again, my wealth arrives on time, in perfect order. But each time you repeat that truth, the energy around you relaxes. The tension leaves your body, and your aura begins to glow again. That is the sign that your vibration is matching divine rhythm. When you move with heaven's timing, you no longer chase what's already yours. You attract it. Beloved, the divine never forgets a promise. Every prayer you have spoken in faith is still alive, still moving through invisible corridors. Nothing is lost. Nothing is ignored. Spirit does not work by your watch, it works by your readiness. You might think, but I need it now. And heaven replies, you will have it the moment it becomes a blessing, not a burden. This is the secret few understand. Divine delay is never denial. It is divine design. It means your foundation is being fortified so you can hold what is coming. Say softly, everything that belongs to me is on its way, in perfect timing. Again, everything that belongs to me is on its way, in perfect timing. Florence said, the train you have missed was not your train. So stop chasing what has already departed. Your supply has its own schedule, its own route, its own arrival time. Your only task is to stay at the station of faith. Calm, believing, expecting. When you wait in peace, miracles move faster. When you release the need to prove, the universe rushes to provide. When you rest, heaven works. Faith is not inactivity. It is interactivity. It is the energy of trust vibrating so purely that creation cannot resist responding. It is the silent knowing that what you have spoken in faith is already walking toward you, even if unseen. Say this now. I trust the unseen schedule of my blessings. Again, I trust the unseen schedule of my blessings. When you trust the law of timing, something beautiful happens. Your aura changes color. It turns golden, radiant, magnetic. Because gold is the color of divine patience. It is the energy of one who already knows they are supplied. The moment you stop asking, when? You step into the energy of now. And the money that seemed far away begins to move closer. Because now you are standing in the vibration where it already exists. Florence said, there is no delay in divine mind, therefore, I am never too late. Repeat that softly. Let it fill you. There is no delay in divine mind, therefore, I am never too late. Breathe deeply. Feel that truth settle into your heart. You are not behind. You are not missing your moment. You are right on time in the unfolding of your divine story. So tonight, stop chasing what cannot escape you. Stop worrying about what cannot miss you. Rest in the rhythm of divine wealth. For your supply is not coming someday. It is forming right now. Every moment of trust speeds its arrival. Every breath of peace opens another door. Say this final decree for tonight. I trust the divine rhythm of my prosperity. I am calm, aligned, and on time. All that belongs to me finds me effortlessly, under grace and in perfect ways. Again with feeling. I trust the divine rhythm of my prosperity. I am calm, aligned, and on time. All that belongs to me finds me effortlessly, under grace and in perfect ways. Now be still. The law has heard you. The portal is adjusting. And the moment you trust the timing begins to trust you. There are words that describe life, and there are words that create it. Most people speak about what they see, but the awakened ones, the divine ones, speak what they know, and what they know becomes what they see. That is the language of spirit. That is the power of the word that opens the portal. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "There is a magic word for every situation. And in the matter of money, there is one sacred phrase that changes everything. It is not long, but it is living. It is not complicated, but it carries heaven's signature. It is the sound of faith in motion, the decree that no wall of lack can withstand. Say it now, softly but with reverence. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. Let all that is mine by divine right reach me now, under grace and in perfect ways." These words are not merely sentences. They are a signal, a vibration that awakens your spiritual inheritance. When you say them with faith, heaven hears a door unlocking. Your unseen blessings begin to rise from their hidden places. Money that was stuck begins to flow. Opportunities that were sleeping begin to awaken. The law of circulation begins to move again. Florence said, "Nothing stands between man and his highest good but fear." So when you speak this decree with courage, fear dissolves. You replace the vibration of worry with the vibration of knowing. You shift from effort to embodiment. Say it again, slowly, with your heart open. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. Let all that is mine by divine right reach me now, under grace and in perfect ways. Now feel the air change. Feel how your body calms when you stop striving and start speaking truth. That stillness you feel, that quiet, is your aura responding. Your energy is rearranging itself to match the words of divine order. This phrase carries three sacred forces. The first is invocation. Infinite Spirit. It calls on the source, the all-knowing, all-giving presence that lives both within you and beyond you. It reminds your soul that you are never alone in your supply. You are co-creating with the infinite. The second is permission. Open the way for my immediate supply. It is not a plea. It is a command spoken with love. You are telling the universe, I am ready. You are giving grace permission to move without resistance. The third is alignment. Let all that is mine by divine right reach me now, under grace and in perfect ways. These words ensure that only what is meant for you comes. In peace, without struggle, without harm. They align you with divine timing, divine channels, divine peace. Beloved, when you speak this decree, your words become light. That light begins to travel. Through minds, through doors, through circumstances. It carries instructions to every corner of creation. Bring it now. Bring it peacefully, bring it perfectly. Florence said, there is a supply for every demand. So when you speak this phrase, you are not creating from nothing. You are calling from the invisible storehouse. Your decree locates the supply that already exists and directs it to your life. You don't have to chase it. You only need to hold the vibration of peace and repeat the command until it is done. Say it again, with deeper faith. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. Let all that is mine by divine right reach me now, under grace and in perfect ways. Feel the current move through you. This is no longer just sound. It is spirit made audible. The moment you speak it with truth, heaven rearranges itself to fulfill your decree. Florence said, "Never ask for what you do not expect." So when you speak these words, expect movement. Expect confirmation. Expect the phone call, the message, the idea, the check, the opening. Do not wonder if it will happen. Wonder how beautifully it will unfold. Beloved, when you say these words daily, morning, night, before decisions, you will begin to see a pattern. Synchronicities. Perfect timing. Divine coincidences. You'll notice money appearing where there was none, help arriving without asking, peace replacing panic. This is the portal responding to your consistency. It now recognizes your voice. Every repetition makes your decree stronger. Every peaceful breath after the decree makes it faster. Because faith doesn't shout, faith settles. The more still you become, the quicker heaven moves. Say it again, one more time, as if it were already fulfilled. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. Let all that is mine by divine right reach me now, under grace and in perfect ways. Pause. Breathe. Let the echo of your own voice linger in the silence. That silence is your proof. That stillness is heaven saying, "It is done." And now remember, this decree is not a spell. It is a statement of spiritual law. You are not forcing, you are allowing. You are not asking. You are acknowledging. You are not hoping, you are commanding in faith. Florence said, "Man's word sets in motion unseen forces that eventually return to him multiplied." So the moment you speak this decree, multiplication begins. And it will return, not as an echo, but as evidence. Beloved, there will come a night when you speak this phrase and feel something shift. A physical warmth, a sudden clarity, a deep peace. That is the exact moment the portal opens. It may not make a sound, but your spirit will know. You'll sense that your command has been received. And from that moment forward, you will never again question if the universe hears you. Say it now for the final time in this section, slowly, reverently, as a law written in heaven. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. Let all that is mine by divine right reach me now, under grace and in perfect ways. And now, it is done. Your decree has been spoken. The current has been released. The portal stands open. And all that belongs to you is already moving in your direction, freely, effortlessly, and under grace. The moment you speak the decree, something in the invisible begins to move. You may not see it yet, but heaven has already responded. Creation does not hesitate when truth is spoken with authority. It rushes into motion, quietly, perfectly, faithfully. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Man's word sets in motion unseen forces that eventually return to him multiplied." And beloved, those forces are alive right now. They have heard you. They have received their instructions. They are moving through time, space, and circumstance, weaving your supply into form. Do not let the silence fool you. The silence is the sound of divine activity. When nothing appears to be happening, everything is happening. The law is aligning people, places, ideas, and opportunities, all designed to deliver what you have commanded in faith. Say softly, "Heaven is moving, even when I am still." Again, heaven is moving, even when I am still. That stillness is not emptiness, it is evidence. The energy of your word has begun its journey. It travels like light, invisible but unstoppable. It touches the mind of a stranger who suddenly remembers you. It enters a system where a check is delayed and pushes it forward. It inspires a phone call, a thought, an idea. All under grace, all perfectly timed. Florence said, "Nothing stands between man and his highest good but fear." So fear is the only thing that can interfere with the delivery. That is why the wise stay peaceful after they decree. They do not reopen the portal with doubt. They leave it open with gratitude. They know that the law of return is automatic. Say this now, gently. I release my word in peace. I trust the invisible. Again, I release my word in peace. I trust the invisible. When you release the need to control, you invite the divine to complete its work. When you release the need to hurry, you accelerate the process. Faith is not about doing more. It's about believing more deeply. It's about resting so fully in your decree that nothing can shake your calm. Beloved, the moment after your decree is sacred. It is the space where heaven builds. In those hours and days, your energy field becomes magnetic. Your aura shines brighter, your tone softens, your intuition sharpens. You begin to walk differently, slower, lighter, more aware. That is not coincidence, that is confirmation. You have entered the rhythm of divine flow. Florence said, "There is no delay in divine mind." That means everything that is meant for you has already begun its journey. You are not waiting for your blessing. Your blessing is finding you. Say softly, "My good is in motion now." Again, "My good is in motion now." And yet, while heaven works, the outer world may still test you. The appearance of lack may whisper, "Nothing is happening." But appearances are not truth. They are simply the fading of an old vibration. When light enters, shadows move, not to frighten you, but to show you that transformation is underway. Stay calm in the test, for tests precede treasures. When something seems to fall apart, remember the old structure must make room for the new supply. If a door closes, it is because a new one is already opening. If a plan dissolves, it is because a greater plan is taking shape. Say this now, "Every change serves my good. Every shift carries my supply." Again, every change serves my good. Every shift carries my supply. You may notice signs. A song, a phrase, a stranger's kindness, a sudden thought that feels guided. These are not random. They are divine fingerprints, reminders that your decree is working behind the curtain. Spirit loves to whisper, "I am here." Florence said, "Before ye call, I shall answer." That means the response begins before the request is finished. So the moment you spoke your decree, heaven had already said, yes. Every delay, every detour, every pause is simply a journey of that, yes, finding its way into matter. Beloved, faith is not a feeling, it is a stance. You do not have to feel powerful to be powerful. Even when you are tired, your word continues to work. Even when you forget, the law remembers. Even when you doubt, say softly, "My word cannot fail. My decree cannot be undone." Again, "My word cannot fail. My decree cannot be undone." This is the spiritual reaction, the divine chain that never breaks. Once you speak in faith, the energy moves forward eternally. Your word becomes light, your lead becomes magnetism, and your magnetism draws what belongs to you. And when it arrives, it will come so naturally, so gracefully. You will smile and think, "Of course." Because by the time it appears, you will already have become the person who expected it. That is the final transformation. You don't just receive your blessing, you become it. Florence said, "Man's supply is inexhaustible when he is in tune with infinite mind." And that is what happens when you speak and trust your decree. You tune yourself to infinity. You vibrate at the level of ease, not effort. You stop asking for money, and money begins asking for you. Say this final decree for this section, softly feeling it in your body. I have spoken my word. Heaven has heard. The law is working. My supply is on its way, multiplied, purified, and under grace. And again, slowly with conviction, I have spoken my word. Heaven has heard. The law is working. My supply is on its way, multiplied, purified, and under grace. Now be still. This is the moment creation shifts. The portal is not ahead of you. It is within you. And as you remain in this energy of faith, everything that belongs to you, every opportunity, every blessing, every dollar, begins to rearrange itself to meet you. Because your word has gone out. And once spoken in faith, it must return, multiplied, manifested, and made real. And now, beloved, you have come full circle. The word has been spoken. The law has been released. The invisible has begun to move in your favor. You are no longer the seeker. You are the receiver. You are no longer the one knocking. You are the one the door was always waiting for. You are no longer standing outside the portal. You are inside it, surrounded by the light of divine order. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "There is nothing too great of accomplishment for the man who knows the power of his word and who follows fearlessly where that word leads." And now, you are that one. The one who believes. The one who no longer chases, because you've remembered how creation works. You speak. You feel. You trust. And the universe, faithful and precise, responds without fail. Say this now, softly. I am aligned with the rhythm of divine wealth. Again. I am aligned with the rhythm of divine wealth. You can feel it, can't you? That calm warmth rising in your chest, that peaceful certainty settling over you. This is not imagination, this is alignment. This is the vibration of done. When you live in alignment, you stop measuring progress with your eyes and start measuring it with your peace. You stop wondering if it's working. You start knowing it is. You stop asking when, because your spirit whispers now. Florence said, "No man is your enemy. No man is your friend. Every man is your teacher." That means every experience, every delay, every closed door has been teaching alignment, teaching you how to vibrate with divine law instead of human worry. Now that you've learned, you don't have to repeat the old lessons. You can move freely, joyfully, fearlessly. Beloved, alignment is not something you chase, it is something you choose. It happens when your word, your feeling, and your faith all speak the same language. When your mind says yes, your heart says thank you, and your spirit says it is done. Say softly, my word, my feeling, and my faith are one. Again, my word, my feeling, and my faith are one. From this day forward, speak only what you wish to see. Let no idle word escape your lips. Your voice is sacred. It carries divine instruction. When you speak doubt, you plant delay. When you speak faith, you plant fulfillment. And heaven grows whatever you sow. You are now aligned with the rhythm of ease. You no longer push. You no longer grasp. You flow. You trust. You allow. You understand that money is not something you earn by force. It is something you magnetize through vibration. It comes not to your work, but to your worth. Say now, my worth is natural again. My worth is divine. My wealth is natural. When you walk in this knowing, every corner of life begins to sparkle. Bills become blessings. Delays become direction. Even silence becomes sacred, because you know that everything, seen and unseen, is working for your good. Florence said, man's supply is inexhaustible when he is in tune with the infinite. You are now in tune. You have found your frequency. The static of fear has been cleared. The music of faith plays through you continuously. Feel it. You are calm. You are certain. You are cared for. You are surrounded by good. Every need is already known. Every blessing is already moving. Every dollar that belongs to you is already on its way. Say softly, my supply cannot be lost. My blessing cannot miss me. Again, my supply cannot be lost. My blessing cannot miss me. You no longer chase miracles. You live in the state where miracles are normal. You no longer beg for signs. Your peace has become your sign. You no longer search for proof. Your calm is your proof. Beloved, alignment is the highest wealth. When you are aligned, you radiate peace, and peace is the vibration that attracts everything. It attracts opportunities, ideas, people, and prosperity, not because you need them, but because your energy has become a home for them. Money seeks peace. It stays where it feels safe. And you, dear soul, have become a sanctuary of peace. Florence said, "God is my supply and my success." That is your truth now. Say it softly. God is my supply and my success. Again, God is my supply and my success. When you wake tomorrow, do not look for evidence. Feel it. The vibration of gratitude you carry will be the proof. The calm confidence you walk with will be the signal. Everywhere you go, your energy will whisper, "All is well." And heaven will answer, "Yes, all is well." Every conversation will carry hidden grace. Every encounter will be divine appointment. Every situation will unfold in your favor. But because of luck, but because of law. The law of alignment always rewards those who trust it. So as this message draws its close, breathe deeply. Inhale peace. Exhale resistance. Let your heart rest in the knowing that you are already where you're meant to be. You are in the exact vibration of your next miracle. Say this final decree now, not as a hope, but as a command sealed in faith. I am aligned with divine supply. My word has opened the portal. My faith has activated the law. My emotion has charged creation. My timing is perfect. My decree is working. And all that belongs to me flows now, under grace, in perfect ways. Oh, again, I'm aligned with divine supply. My word has opened the portal. My faith has activated the law. My emotion has charged creation. My timing is perfect. My decree is working. And all that belongs to me flows now, under grace, in perfect ways. Now, be still, breathe. Feel that peace that passes understanding. That is heaven's confirmation. That is the sound of divine alignment. Florence said, "The invisible forces are always ready to a man's command when spoken in faith and understanding. And so they have obeyed you. Your word has been heard. The portal stands open. And every good thing that bears your name is already on its way, flowing freely, swiftly, and gracefully. Rest in this truth tonight. You are not manifesting anymore. Maintaining alignment. You are not hoping. You are knowing. You are not searching. You are receiving. And when you sleep, sleep peacefully. Because heaven does not rest until your good has found you. For your word has been spoken in love. Your decree has been sealed in faith, and your life, beloved, is now aligned with divine abundance, forever and always. And so it is.
There is a law that governs the unseen, a law as certain as the rising of the sun and the flow of the river to the sea. This law knows no lack, no limitation, no delay. It is the law of divine supply, and it whispers now to your heart, huge money from God is on your way. Every soul is born into a kingdom of abundance, yet many walk in shadows of fear and scarcity. They look to the outer world for their provision, not knowing that the treasure house of infinite wealth lies within them. When one aligns thought, word, and expectation with divine truth, the channels of supply burst open and riches flow without hindrance. The universe cannot withhold that which is rightfully yours. Money is but a symbol, a messenger, a servant of spirit. It is not to be feared, nor worshipped, but welcomed as a vehicle for joy, freedom, and service. When you affirm with unwavering faith that God is your source, money comes to you in expected and unexpected ways. The outer world rearranges itself. Doors swing wide, opportunities arise, and channels appear where none seemed possible. That which once seemed locked or hidden is suddenly revealed. The spoken word is the key that turns the lock. To speak lack is to invite lack. To speak abundance is to summon abundance. Declare daily with conviction. Huge money from God is on its way to me now, in perfect ways. As you do, you are planting seeds in the soil of the infinite, and those seeds cannot fail to sprout. They grow in silence, beneath the surface of the scene, until the harvest comes forth in divine timing. Let no doubt or fear disturb your garden. Doubt is the thief of destiny, fear the shadow that obscures the light. Yet faith is the golden bridge over troubled waters. Stand firm in the knowing that all provision is yours by divine right. Refuse to be moved by appearances. The outer may seem barren, but the inner is already rich with supply. Release resentment, envy, and bitterness, for they block the channels of wealth. Bless the prosperity of others, and you quicken your own. Give freely where you are guided, for giving and receiving are one motion, like the in-breath and the out-breath. As you release, you make room to receive. As you bless, you invite blessing. Your wealth is not dependent upon persons, places, or circumstances. It comes from the inexhaustible source, which never fails, never tires, never ceases to pour forth. The world may shake, markets may falter, but divine supply stands unshaken. Anchored in this truth, you are unshakable too. Now open your heart wide, for huge money from God is already moving toward you. It travels on the wings of spirit, drawn by your faith, summoned by your words, magnetized by your vision. It comes not slowly, but swiftly, not meagerly, but abundantly. For divine law knows only plenty. The channels are opening, the doors are unlocking, the river is flowing. Stand ready to receive, for the riches of heaven are pouring into your life. Divine supply is unlimited, eternal, and unfailing. It does not bend to the measures of man, nor can it be diminished by appearances of lack or limitation. The human mind, trained by the world, has been conditioned to believe in shortage, in struggle, in the need to compete for survival, yet these are illusions that veil the great truth. Behind all forms and beyond all appearances lies the vast storehouse of spirit, overflowing with ideas, opportunities, and resources. This supply is infinite because its source is infinite. Just as the sun cannot run out of light, and the ocean cannot run out of waves, so divine supply cannot run out of wealth. It is endless, boundless, and always ready to manifest for the one who knows its law. When one lives with eyes fixed only on the outer world, one becomes entangled in appearances. The outer world says, "There is not enough." And so one begins to act as though poverty were a permanent condition. Yet the outer is but a shadow of the inner. The unseen governs the seen. To look to appearances is to anchor in the temporary, but to look to spirit is to anchor in the eternal. Divine supply does not depend upon markets, upon wages, upon the economy, nor upon the generosity of men. It flows through those channels, but it is never confined to them. The law of supply is free, it is creative, and it is limitless in its expression. A soul that grasps this truth begins to walk in freedom. No longer do they beg, plead, or grasp, for they understand that supply is already theirs, by right of divine inheritance. They stand tall in the knowing that the universe is their unfailing banker, their ever-present provider. The air one breathes is given in infinite measure. No one fears there will not be enough oxygen tomorrow, for the mind accepts without question that air is limitless. In the same way, wealth and provision are just as limitless. Yet because the mind has been trained to believe in scarcity, one must retrain thought to accept abundance as natural. Divine supply is not measured in coins alone. It expresses in opportunities, in right ideas, in inspired connections, in open doors that lead to wealth. Often, when a person prays for money, what they truly receive is an idea, a chance, a vision, or an introduction to someone who becomes a channel of supply. All of these are but expressions of the one source. Money itself is only one form of supply, a symbol of value, but the substance behind it is spirit. To trust spirit is to trust that whatever is needed will be given in perfect form and in perfect timing. When one speaks words of faith, affirming the presence of infinite supply, unseen forces begin to move. The word is the seed, and the law of supply is the soil in which it grows. The law cannot fail. Just as a seed planted in fertile ground must break forth in its appointed season, so too must the word of truth spoken with conviction bring forth supply in the outer. The harvest may come through unexpected means, for spirit is never bound to the limited channels the mind imagines. What seems impossible is only the mind's small vision, yet to spirit, The way is already prepared. To understand the limitlessness of divine supply, one must see beyond competition. The world teaches that for one to gain, another must lose. This is the law of man but not the law of spirit. In truth, there is enough for all. When one draws from infinite supply, nothing is taken from another, for each soul has their own direct connection to the source. No two can clash for the same portion, because the portions are without end. This realization dissolves envy and fear. Instead of resenting the prosperity of others, one rejoices. For their abundance proves the law works, and what is possible for one is possible for all. Those who live in alignment with divine supply walk in confidence. They do not chase after wealth in desperation, for they know that wealth comes to them by right, not by force. They act when guided, they move when prompted, but they are never driven by fear. Their steps are orderly, their choices inspired, their actions fruitful. The world may look at them and say they are lucky, but in truth they are simply aligned. They trust the invisible more than the visible, and so the invisible shapes the visible in their favor. The mind that accepts divine supply as unlimited is a magnet to wealth. It does not push it away with doubt, nor block it with fear, nor delay it with resentment. It attracts with ease, for like draws to like. Thoughts of abundance draw abundance, while thoughts of lack repel it. This is not mere wishful thinking, but the operation of divine law. Just as a magnet does not struggle to draw iron, but simply does so by its nature, so the one who lives in the consciousness of unlimited supply draws wealth by spiritual law. There is a vast difference between hoping for supply and knowing supply. Hope is uncertain, tinged with doubt, often laced with fear. Knowing is firm, steady, unshakable. To know that supply is unlimited is to rest secure, no matter what appearances scream. Even if the purse is empty, even if the outer account seems bare, one who knows smiles calmly, for they understand that the appearance is but a shadow, and the reality of supply is already on the way. This knowing dissolves worry, for worry is faith inverted, faith placed in lack instead of abundance. By turning faith toward the source, one becomes a master of circumstances instead of a victim of them. Divine supply flows most freely through channels of gratitude and generosity. Gratitude acknowledges the infinite storehouse, and generosity keeps the channels open. When one clings tightly to what they have, believing supply is limited, they choke the flow. When one gives freely, guided by spirit, they affirm trust in the law, and more supply rushes to fill the vacuum. Giving and receiving are not opposites. They are one continuous flow, one rhythm of spirit. To give is to receive, and to receive is to give, for in both motions the infinite is affirmed. The spoken word creates wealth, for words are not empty sounds drifting into the air, but living forces clothed in vibration. Every word released carries a seed of power, and each seed takes root in the unseen before manifesting in the visible. When one speaks words of lack, fear and limitation, they unknowingly plant a harvest of poverty. When one speaks words of faith, abundance, and supply, they plant the harvest of wealth. The universe does not question whether the word is wanted or unwanted. It simply mirrors back the vibration that has been spoken. This is why the tongue is the rudder of destiny, steering life into prosperity or into lack according to the words spoken with belief. The mind shapes thought, and the thought takes on life when clothed in speech. Thought alone is powerful, yet when expressed in words it is amplified and given direction. Words are commands to the subconscious mind, and the subconscious obeys without resistance. It does not argue, it does not reason, it only accepts. If one continually declares, "I never have enough," or "money is hard to come by," the subconscious will set about creating circumstances to prove those words true. Yet if one declares with authority, "Huge money from God is on its way to me now," the subconscious takes that declaration as law and begins aligning outer events to bring it forth. There is no neutral word. Every utterance builds or diminishes, opens or closes, blesses or curses. Idle talk of struggle, gossip about poverty, constant rehearsing of worry, these are seeds of weeds that choke the garden of wealth. Many people unconsciously speak against their own prosperity. not realizing that their words are creating the very conditions they resent. They beg for money in one breath, but complain of bills in the next. And so their words cancel each other, leaving them trapped in a cycle of want. The wise soul watches the words that pass their lips, for they know each word is a decree shaping the substance of life. The ancient law is simple: call those things that be not as though they were, and they will be. This law does not fail. To speak of prosperity as if it were already present is to magnetize prosperity. To continually declare, I am rich in supply, I am prosperous in every way, money flows to me freely and easily, is to establish a vibration that attracts wealth like iron to a magnet. It may not be seen in the first moment, for words are seeds and seeds require time to sprout, but the harvest is inevitable. The spoken word has already set the unseen into motion, and unseen forces are arranging the visible world to reflect the decree. Some will say, I cannot speak wealth when I see lack all around me. Yet this is precisely why the spoken word is necessary. Words are not meant to describe the present appearance, they are meant to shape the coming reality. To declare only what is seen is to remain bound by it. To declare what is unseen is to call it into being. The spoken word lifts the soul above appearances and anchors it in truth, and truth always overcomes illusion. Lack is an illusion sustained by repeated speech and thought. Abundance is the reality waiting to be spoken into form. When one speaks words of wealth, they must speak with faith, not with wavering. A half-hearted declaration tinged with doubt carries little power. Words clothed in conviction, spoken with the certainty that divine supply never fails, are like thunderbolts that pierce through resistance. The tone, the belief, the inner assurance, all are part of the creative act. Just as a king issues a decree and knows it will be carried out, so must one issue words of wealth with royal authority, knowing the universe is compelled to obey. Affirmations are not empty rituals but spiritual weapons. They cut down the weeds of doubt, they break the chains of fear, they reprogram the subconscious, and they summon wealth from the unseen. Repetition engraves them into the mind until they become second nature. The one who persistently affirms abundance eventually speaks it as their truth, not as a wish. At that moment, the spoken word has become creative fire, and the manifestation of wealth is unstoppable. The spoken word also reaches beyond the self, for vibration influences all it touches. Words of prosperity spoken over business, over work, over creative endeavors, infuse those channels with the energy of success. Words of blessing spoken over money in hand multiply its power to attract more. To say, every dollar I spend returns multiplied, every seed I sow grows tenfold, is to release money with faith instead of fear, and in faith, it always returns increased. Even the smallest action, when clothed in the right word, becomes a seed of wealth. There is great danger in careless speech, sarcasm, complaint, constant rehearsing of failure. These are invisible debts that pile up in the unseen, only to be paid later in disappointment. The world may laugh at the power of words, but those who understand spiritual law guard. Faith opens channels, fear blocks them. Faith is the invisible bridge that connects the soul to the limitless supply of spirit. It is the golden key that unlocks doors which, to the natural mind, appear bolted and barred. Faith does not depend on evidence of the senses, it does not demand proof before believing, it simply knows. It affirms abundance when the purse is empty, it declares provision when the cupboard looks bare. It stands calm in the storm because it sees beyond appearances. Faith is the creative force that draws to itself the very substance of what it claims. It does not strain, it does not grasp, it simply rests in the certainty that what is sought is already given. Fear is the opposite vibration, a shadow that closes every door. Fear looks at appearances and accepts them as final. It says, there is not enough, there will never be enough, everything is against me. It paralyzes the soul, clouds the mind, and blocks the flow of divine supply. Fear contracts, and what contracts cannot receive. Faith expands, and what expands is ready to be filled. Fear is the voice of the world, trained from childhood, whispering of shortage, struggle, and lack. Faith is the voice of spirit, speaking quietly but firmly, declaring, "All that you need is already yours." The two cannot rule together, one must be chosen and the other dismissed. Faith is a channel, an open conduit through which divine supply flows. Imagine a mighty river, endless and abundant, seeking always to pour into your life. Faith is the open channel cut into the riverbank, directing the flow straight into your field. The wider the channel, the greater the flow. Fear, however, is the stone that blocks the channel, the dam that prevents the waters from reaching their destination. The river has not dried up. It has not disappeared, but the blockages prevent its movement. Remove the stone of fear, and the waters of supply rush forth again, as though they had never ceased. When one walks in faith, they act as though the provision were already in hand. They make choices from abundance, not from scarcity. They give freely, they speak boldly, they move forward without hesitation. This confident movement stirs unseen forces into alignment. Opportunities appear, people are drawn, ideas come, and channels open. Faith does not sit idle, waiting for perfect circumstances. It steps forward knowing that circumstances will rearrange themselves to match the vision. Faith is the assurance that divine law never fails, and so every step is steady, unshaken by delay or obstacle. Fear whispers constantly, reminding the mind of past failures, projecting images of disaster, magnifying small troubles into mountains. It breeds hesitation, and hesitation closes the doors of opportunity. Many have lost their provision not because the supply was absent, but because fear blinded them to the channel through which it was coming. Fear causes one to turn away from the very path that leads to wealth, doubting, second-guessing, and sabotaging the manifestation that was already in motion. Fear sees only obstacles, while faith sees only possibilities. Faith is not mere wishing, nor is it blind hope. It is a deep knowing, an inner conviction that what is unseen is more real than what is seen. It rests in the eternal, not in the temporary. To cultivate faith is to train the mind away from appearances and toward truth. This training comes through the spoken word, through affirmations of abundance, through meditation on the infinite nature of divine supply. As one repeats the truth, the mind begins to accept it. The heart begins to believe it, and soon faith becomes the natural state. At that point, supply flows unhindered, for the channel is wide and clear. Fear feeds on repetition just as faith does. The more one rehearses fear, the stronger it grows. Speaking constantly of lack, of debt, of shortage, is to feed fear until it rules. To break the grip of fear, one must replace its words with words of faith. Every fearful thought can be met with a declaration of truth. Every anxious picture can be replaced with a vision of abundance. Over time, the repetition of faith weakens fear's hold, dissolves its power, and clears the channels once more. Faith aligns with divine timing. It does not rush impatiently nor collapse in despair when the answer is not immediate. Faith knows that the seed grows in the hidden soil before breaking through the surface. It trusts the process, confident that the unseen work is already complete. Fear, however, demands instant results and panics when they are not seen. In panic, it digs up the seed, interrupts the process, and delays the harvest. Faith allows the process to unfold in perfect order, and because of this, the harvest is sure. Those who walk in faith carry an atmosphere that others can feel. They radiate calm even in uncertainty. They speak words that uplift, they inspire confidence in those around them. Their presence alone opens channels, for faith attracts opportunities and people respond to the vibration of assurance. Fear radiates the opposite, it spreads worry, doubt, and discouragement, and opportunities shrink away from it. One who understands the law of vibration guards against fear, not only for their own sake, but because their fear can close channels for those around them. Faith does not require great size, only sincerity. Even the smallest spark of true faith is enough to set the law in motion. The channel need not be wide at the beginning. Once opened, the flow of supply will enlarge it. Each act of faith increases its strength. Each victory, no matter how small, builds confidence. And soon faith becomes unshakable. Fear, though loud and insistent, has no true power when met with steadfast faith. It dissolves like mist before the sun, and in its place, the flow of abundance rushes unhindered into the life of the believer. Giving and receiving are one motion, like the in-breath and the out-breath. They cannot be separated, for each depends on the other. The rhythm of life is constant circulation, an endless flow where what goes out must come in, and what comes in must go out again. To attempt to clutch, to hoard, to grasp tightly in fear, is to interrupt this rhythm, and what is interrupted begins to stagnate. Just as a pool of water that has no outlet grows full, so does wealth that is withheld in fear lose its vitality. But when one gives freely, guided by spirit, the flow continues, the circulation remains open, and the law ensures that what was given returns multiplied. Giving is not loss but sowing. Every gift is a seed planted in the fertile soil of the infinite. A seed does not vanish when placed in the ground. It multiplies and comes back as a harvest far greater than itself. The farmer who plants does not mourn the seed buried in the earth, for he knows it is not gone but growing. In the same way, one who gives in alignment with spirit does not fear loss, for they know that the act has set in motion the law of increase. Giving without fear is the highest form of faith, for it declares that divine supply is unlimited and that there is always more on its way. Receiving is as sacred as giving. Many can give but cannot receive, for they feel unworthy, ashamed, or guilty. Yet to refuse to receive is to break the rhythm. Just as surely as refusing to give. The in-breath cannot exist without the out-breath, and abundance cannot flow if one blocks half the cycle. To receive with gratitude is to honor the giver, to honor the law, and to affirm that one is worthy of supply. Every gift accepted joyfully strengthens the flow and opens the channel wider for greater blessings to come. The law does not measure by size but by spirit. A gift given grudgingly, no matter how large, carries little power, for it is tainted by fear. A gift given joyfully, no matter how small, carries great power, for it vibrates with faith and love. Spirit sees not the coin but the consciousness in which it is given. The widow's mite, given in trust, outweighs the treasure given in pride. To give rightly is to give without expectation of return from the person or place to which it is given, but with the certainty that the universe itself returns it in perfect form. There is no loss in true giving, for what is given away comes back transformed. Money given may return as opportunity, as healing, as unexpected provision, as favor from unexpected quarters. The form may change, but the essence remains, multiplied and enriched. Those who understand this law never fear to give, for they know every gift is an investment in divine abundance. They understand that to cling is to shrink, but to release is to grow. The one who withholds in fear declares by their action, "There is not enough. I must hold tightly, or I will lose." This belief shuts the door to abundance, for it denies the nature of infinite supply. The one who gives declares, "There is always more, for I live in a universe of plenty." This belief opens the floodgates, for it affirms truth. The law always mirrors belief, and the outward always reflects the inward. Giving and receiving extend beyond money. A smile, a kind word, a helping hand, a blessing spoken over another. These are also seeds, and they too return multiplied. The universe is finely tuned to the vibrations of the heart, and whatever is released must circle back. To give joy is to receive joy. To give encouragement is to receive encouragement. To give resentment or bitterness is to receive the same. The law is perfect and impartial, delivering to each according to what they have released. Generosity is freedom. When one gives, they free themselves from the chains of fear, from the grasping spirit that clutches in anxiety. Each act of giving says, "I am not bound by lack, I am not ruled by money, I am free." This freedom itself is prosperity. For the truly rich are those who live unchained by fear. And because freedom vibrates at the level of abundance, it attracts more of its kind. The generous always find themselves provided for, not because of chance, but because they are aligned with the rhythm of the law. Receiving, too, requires humility. To accept help, to allow gifts, to open the hands without resistance is an act of faith. Pride often refuses to receive, thinking it must stand alone, but pride closes the channel just as surely as fear. The soul that receives with gratitude magnifies the blessing and keeps the circulation alive. Gratitude multiplies the harvest, for it adds energy to what has been received and sows it again into the field of spirit. The circulation of giving and receiving is seen everywhere in nature. The tree gives oxygen and receives carbon dioxide. The river gives its waters to the sea, and the clouds return them as rain. The body breathes in and breathes out, the heart pumps and receives. The seasons flow in endless cycles. To interrupt this circulation is death, but to flow with it is life. So it is with abundance. To participate in giving and receiving is to participate in the very rhythm of existence. Every act of giving sets a vibration in motion. That vibration cannot end with the act itself, it must complete its cycle by returning. Those who give secretly, quietly, without thought of return, find themselves unexpectedly blessed, for the law never forgets. Those who give with calculation, seeking to manipulate, find their gifts return empty, for their motive breaks the harmony of the rhythm. Pure giving, born of love and trust, creates pure receiving, born of grace and ease. The law of circulation is unchangeable. It cannot be bribed, cheated, or bent. One may hoard for a season, but stagnation will show itself. One may withhold in fear, but lack will follow. One may give freely, and the return will come in ways beyond imagination. The law is impartial, exact, and eternal, and those who live in harmony with it walk in the certainty that giving and receiving are not two, but one eternal motion. Money flows from source, not circumstance. Circumstances are shifting, unstable, and temporary, but source is eternal, unchanging, and infinite. Many souls bind themselves to appearances, believing that their livelihood depends upon a job, an employer, a business, or a market. They look to outer conditions as their provider, and when these conditions shift, they are thrown into fear and despair. Yet these outer channels are only instruments, they are not the source. The river is not the spring. The paycheck is not the supply. The true supply flows from the invisible, and it is the invisible that sustains every visible form. When one learns this truth, they are freed from bondage to circumstances. They no longer tremble when jobs are lost, when markets fall, or when doors close, for they know that their wealth does not originate in these things. They understand that new channels will always open, for the source never ceases. To rely on circumstances is to live as a beggar of chance. To rely on source is to live as an heir of the infinite. The world may shake, but the one anchored in source stands steady, knowing that divine supply cannot be interrupted. Money is but a symbol, a representation of substance. Its forms change constantly: wages, investments, business opportunities, inheritances, gifts, ideas. These are channels, and channels come and go. To cling to one channel in fear is to cut oneself off from the endless variety of ways spirit can provide. The open soul releases attachment to the channel and trusts the source to bring forth new and greater ways. When one door closes, it is only to make way for another, wider and more fitting to the need. Those who panic at a closed door reveal that they were trusting the door, not the infinite that stands behind it. Source is inexhaustible. It is the storehouse of all creation, the fountain that never runs dry. Every idea of wealth, every form of provision, every opportunity that has ever existed flowed first from this infinite well. The human mind often believes it must labor, struggle, and strive to create supply. Yet the truth is that supply is already finished in spirit and simply awaiting manifestation. The one who aligns with source does not need to force or beg. They need only to tune their consciousness to the frequency of abundance, and the flow is released. Circumstances are mirrors of consciousness. If the consciousness is fixed on lack, circumstances will reflect lack, no matter how much effort is expended. If the consciousness is fixed on abundance, circumstances will rearrange themselves to reflect abundance, often in ways that seem miraculous to the reasoning mind. This is why two people in identical conditions can experience opposite outcomes. One thrives, while the other struggles. The difference is not in the outer, but in their recognition of source as the true supply. To know that money flows from source is to release fear. Fear arises only when one believes they are dependent on limited channels. If a job seems to be the only lifeline, fear clings tightly, desperate to preserve it. If an investment seems to be the only chance, fear obsesses over its fluctuations. But when one knows the source, they remain calm. For they understand that wealth can appear through 1,000 avenues, and if one closes, another opens instantly. The infinite does not delay, nor does it run dry. Fear melts away when the heart rests in this truth. Money from source comes often in unexpected ways. The human mind, limited in imagination, expects provision only through familiar paths. But source is creative, unlimited, and boundless in expression. Money may come through ideas, through new ventures, through the kindness of others, through sudden opportunities, through inventions, through discoveries, through doors never before considered. The one who clings to circumstances cannot see these new paths, but the one who trusts source is always alert, open, and ready to act when new channels appear. This understanding dissolves envy and resentment. Many look at others who prosper and imagine that their prosperity has stolen something from them. But if supply flows from source, there is no competition. One person's wealth does not diminish another's, for the fountain is infinite. There is enough for all, and more than enough. Resentment is born of the belief in limited supply, but when the truth of infinite source is grasped, resentment transforms into blessing. To bless the wealth of another is to align with the vibration of wealth, and in blessing, one draws wealth to oneself. Money that flows from source is pure and free. It does not come tainted with fear, with struggle, with dishonesty. It flows easily, harmoniously, and in right order. Circumstances may bring money through questionable means, but such money carries no blessing and soon slips away. The wealth that flows from source carries peace, for it is grounded in divine law. It enriches not only the receiver, but all who are touched by it. It circulates, blesses, multiplies, and returns again. To live by circumstances is to live in bondage. To live by source is to live in freedom. The one who lives by circumstances is always watching, worrying, reacting to changes in the outer world. The one who lives by source walks calmly, steadily, confidently, knowing that the flow is continuous, regardless of appearances. They may witness storms around them, but within they remain at rest, for they are anchored in the eternal. Money is not to be feared nor worshipped, but to be recognized as a servant of spirit. As a servant, it obeys the consciousness that directs it. When the consciousness is aligned with source, money flows in perfect ways and right measure. When consciousness is bound by fear of circumstance, money becomes a tyrant, ruling through anxiety and scarcity. Freedom comes when money is placed in its rightful role, as the symbol of abundance, flowing endlessly from the source of all. The practice of aligning with source begins within. It begins with affirming daily that God is the unfailing provider, that divine supply never ceases, that money flows freely from the infinite. It is strengthened by releasing attachment to any single channel, by blessing the flow wherever it appears, and by remaining open to unexpected ways. It grows as one practices gratitude for every gift, great or small, for gratitude magnifies and multiplies. Each act of faith, each word of truth, each moment of trust clears the channel wider, until wealth flows without obstruction. To know that money flows from source, not circumstance, is to live above fear, above doubt, above uncertainty. It is to walk in a world that changes and crumbles, yet remains steady in abundance. It is to understand that no person, no job, no market, no government holds your wealth, but only spirit, and spirit, being infinite, never fails.
A word changes things. You say please, and help appears. You say no, and a boundary stands up. Come in opens doors. Go sets movement in motion. Even your shoulders lift when you say, I can. We continue a chapter-by-chapter reading of Florence Scovel Shinn's The Game of Life and How to Play It. Now we read the third chapter, The Power of the Word. We'll keep it simple. Each chapter, heard in full. And if at any point you want a gentle step,
A free, optional, one-page companion sheet waits in the description. There, when you're ready. Now the central principle of this chapter comes into view. Put simply, what you speak with faith shapes what you experience. So let the reading begin. By thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. A person, knowing the power of the word, becomes very careful of his conversation. He has only to watch the reaction of his words to know that they do not return void. Through his spoken word, man is continually making laws for himself. I knew a man who said, "I always miss a car. It invariably pulls out just as I arrive." His daughter said, "I always catch a car. It's sure to come just as I get there." This occurred for years. Each had made a separate law for himself, one of failure, one of success. This is the psychology of superstitions. The horseshoe or rabbit's foot contains no power, but man's spoken word and belief that it will bring him good luck creates expectancy in the subconscious mind and attracts a lucky situation. I find, however, this will not work when man has advanced spiritually and knows a higher law. One cannot turn back and must put away graven images. For example, 2 men in my class had had great success in business for several months when suddenly everything went to smash. We tried to analyze the situation, and I found, instead of making their affirmations and looking to God for success and prosperity, they had each bought a lucky monkey. I said, "Oh, I see. You have been trusting in the lucky monkeys instead of God. Put away the lucky monkeys and call on the law of forgiveness. For man has power to forgive or neutralize his mistakes." They decided to throw the lucky monkeys down a coal hole, and all went well again. This does not mean, however, that one should throw away every lucky ornament or horseshoe about the house, but he must recognize that the power back of it is the one and only power, God, and that the object simply gives him a feeling of expectancy. I was with a friend one day who was in deep despair. In crossing the street, she picked up a horseshoe. Immediately, she was filled with joy and hope. She said God had sent her the horseshoe in order to keep up her courage. It was indeed at that moment about the only thing that could have registered in her consciousness. Her hope became faith, and she ultimately made a wonderful demonstration. I wish to make the point clear that the men previously mentioned were depending on the monkeys alone, while this woman recognized the power back of the horseshoe. I know, in my own case, it took a long while to get out of a belief that a certain thing brought disappointment. If the thing happened, disappointment invariably followed. I found the only way I could make a change in the subconscious was by asserting, there are not 2 powers. There is only one power, God. Therefore, there are no disappointments, and this thing means a happy surprise. I noticed a change at once, and happy surprises commenced coming my way. I have a friend who said nothing could induce her to walk under a ladder. I said, if you are afraid, you are giving in to a belief in 2 powers, good and evil, instead of one. As God is absolute, there can be no opposing power unless man makes the false law of evil for himself. To show you believe in only one power, God, and that there is no power or reality in evil, walk under the next ladder you see. Soon after, she went to her bank. She wished to open her box in the safety deposit vault, and there stood a ladder on her pathway. It was impossible to reach the box without passing under the ladder. She quailed with fear and turned back. She could not face the lion on her pathway. However, when she reached the street, my words rang in her ears and she decided to return and walk under it. It was a big moment in her life, for ladders had held her in bondage for years. She retraced her steps to the vault, and the ladder was no longer there. This so often happens. If one is willing to do a thing he is afraid to do, he does not have to. It is the law of non-resistance, which is so little understood. Someone has said that courage contains genius and magic. Face a situation fearlessly, and there is no situation to face. It falls away of its own weight.
The explanation is that fear attracted the ladder on the woman's pathway, and fearlessness removed it. Thus, the invisible forces are ever working for man, who is always pulling the strings himself, though he does not know it. Owing to the vibratory power of words, whatever man voices, he begins to attract. People who continually speak of disease invariably attract it. After man knows the truth, he cannot be too careful of his words. For example, I have a friend who often says on the phone, "Do come to see me and have a nice old-fashioned chat." This old-fashioned chat means an hour of about 500 to 1,000 destructive words, the principal topics being loss, lack, failure, and sickness. I reply, "No, I thank you. I've had enough old-fashioned chats in my life. They are too expensive. But I will be glad to have a new-fashioned chat and talk about what we want, not what we don't want." There is an old saying that man only dares use his words for 3 purposes: to heal, bless, or prosper. What man says of others will be said of him, and what he wishes for another, he is wishing for himself. Curses, like chickens, come home to roost. If a man wishes someone bad luck, he is sure to attract bad luck himself. If he wishes to aid someone to success, he is wishing and aiding himself to success. The body may be renewed and transformed through the spoken word and clear vision, and disease be completely wiped out of the consciousness. The metaphysician knows that all disease has a mental correspondence, and in order to heal the body, one must first heal the soul. The soul is the subconscious mind, and it must be saved from wrong thinking. In the 23rd Psalm we read, "He restoreth my soul." This means that the subconscious mind, or soul, must be restored with the right ideas, and the mystical marriage is the marriage of the soul and the spirit, or the subconscious and superconscious mind. They must be one. When the subconscious is flooded with the perfect ideas of the superconscious, God and man are one. I and the Father are one. That is, he is one with the realm of perfect ideas. He is the man made in God's likeness and image, imagination, and is given power and dominion over all created things, his mind, body, and affairs. It is safe to say that all sickness and unhappiness come from the violation of the law of love. "A new commandment I give unto you, love one another, and in the game of life, love or goodwill takes every trick." For example, a woman I know had for years an appearance of a terrible skin disease. The doctors told her it was incurable, and she was in despair. She was on the stage, and she feared she would soon have to give up her profession, and she had no other means of support. She, however, procured a good engagement, and on the opening night made a great hit. She received flattering notices from the critics and was joyful and elated. The next day she received a notice of dismissal. A man in the cast had been jealous of her success and had caused her to be sent away. She felt hatred and resentment taking complete possession of her, and she cried out, "Oh God, don't let me hate that man." That night she worked for hours in the silence. She said, "I soon came into a very deep silence. I seemed to be at peace with myself, with the man, and with the whole world. I continued this for 2 following nights, and on the 3rd day, I found I was healed completely of the skin disease." In asking for love or goodwill, she had fulfilled the law, for love is the fulfilling of the law, and the disease, which came from subconscious resentment, was wiped out. Continual criticism produces rheumatism, as critical, inharmonious thoughts cause unnatural deposits in the blood which settle in the joints. False growths are caused by jealousy, hatred, unforgiveness, fear, and the like. Every disease is caused by a mind not at ease. I said once in my class, "There is no use asking anyone, 'What's the matter with you?' We might just as well say, 'Who's the matter with you?'" Unforgiveness is the most prolific cause of disease. It will harden arteries or liver and affect the eyesight. In its train are endless ills. I called on a woman one day who said she was ill from having eaten a poisoned oyster. I replied, "Oh no, the oyster was harmless. You poisoned the oyster. Who's the matter with you?" She answered, "Oh, about 19 people." She had quarreled with 19 people and had become so inharmonious that she attracted the wrong oyster. Any inharmony on the external indicates there is mental inharmony. As within, so without. Man's only enemies are within himself, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. Personality is one of the last enemies to be overcome, as this planet is taking its initiation in love. It was Christ's message: peace on earth, goodwill toward men. The enlightened man, therefore, endeavors to perfect himself, not his neighbor. His work is with himself, to send out goodwill and blessings to every man. And the marvelous thing is that if one blesses a man, he has no power to harm him. For example, a man came to me asking me to treat for success in business. He was selling machinery, and a rival appeared on the scene with what he proclaimed was a better machine, and my friend feared defeat. I said, "First of all, we must wipe out all fear and know that God protects your interests and that the divine idea must come out of the situation. That is, the right machine will be sold by the right man to the right man." And I added, "Don't hold one critical thought towards that man. Bless him all day and be willing not to sell your machine if it isn't the divine idea." So he went to the meeting, fearless and non-resistant, and blessing the other man. He said the outcome was very remarkable. The other man's machine refused to work, and he sold his without the slightest difficulty. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. Goodwill produces a great aura of protection about the one who sends it, and no weapon that is formed against him shall prosper. In other words, love and goodwill destroy the enemies within oneself. Therefore, one has no enemies on the external. There is peace on earth for him who sends goodwill to man. That is chapter 3. Your words shape your life when you speak them with faith. By listening, you've already begun choosing words that serve your life. Let the words rest. When you want to embody them, one simple practice awaits below. May your speech bless your path and your days agree with it.